Summon Sign is brought to you by you. If you want to learn how to support our show, go to patreon.com/laststandmedia. Hello everyone, welcome to episode 138 of Summon Sign, Last Stand Media's weekly in-depth game discussion podcast. I'm your host, as always, Brad Ellis, and this is a special episode indeed. I'm excited about this crew. First, I have my lovely but chaotic punching up co-host, Micah Moriarty. Micah, hello, how are you?
Hello, I'm very well, thanks. It's been a while since I've been able to be on Summon Sign. Logistically, there's been some issues, so I'm very happy to be here today.
Yeah, Micah hasn't been on the show, not because I hate her. You might get that impression from punching up. But it's just because sometimes usually when we record this show, Colin is also streaming at the same time. And if they are both kind of doing the same thing at the same time when he's streaming, it kind of messes up with their internet sometimes. So that's the only reason why Micah hasn't been on. I still love her, even though I hate her also on punching up. But, of course, we got also our Cobra Commander, our Dr. Wily, however you want to say it, Mr. Colin Moriarty. Colin, hello. How are you?
Stand like an anime girl.
Yeah. They do that. I've seen they do this too. They do like the piece down like that.
What?
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, I've seen
what
it.
is that
I don't
for?
know. I don't know. I've seen it though. Must be the hip tech.
That's like the gooch grabber. You're gonna like get right in there.
Exactly. Yes. They're letting you know.
Like this.
Oh.
Mamma mia.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Colin, I was looking at your toy collection behind you when you were gone for a second. Very impressive. It seems to be growing.
Hold on a second.
Very impressive.
Oh, he's grabbing some props, audio listeners.
I like it. It's like Carrot Top. It's got props ready to go.
Prop comic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gallagher.
Yeah. Oh, Bubble Man. There he is. One of my faves. I love his flippers. Those are so good, man.
Dude, look how good this looks.
Are you kidding?
Are you kidding?
Big too.
Are you kidding me? Dude, it's true. Dagan and I were talking about that actually. They got the scale down. Let me hold on.
Oh, he's got more. He's excited.
Mega Man is 4'4". So he's small. This is Mega Man without the helmet. Great figure. But like, see?
Yeah.
And then
Woodman. Yeah.
See?
Yeah, he should be smaller.
So like if they're not going to, but imagine if they ever got to like Galaxy Man or not a Galaxy Man, Tengu Man or Sword Man, like the big ones from Mega Man 8.
Ooh, yeah.
Frost Man or whatever, that like they're huge. They're gigantic. And I always loved that they were getting more and more away from like the humanoid ones in a way.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
What
So,
do you think of Splash Woman?
She's cool. I like Splash Woman. I thought that was a neat idea. It would be cool if they did another one. And I feel like they might in this next one.
Override?
Not to put too fine of a point on it, but they are supposed to be reprogrammable robots. And so like a made robot would be I'm not trying to be sexist. It's just, that's what it is. It's like these different things. And if you look at a lot of the things people submitted, there was a shit ton of like made robots.
Yeah.
And I bet you one of those, well, maybe they obviously picked one from the audience, but I bet you they have like a cleaning one or something, which would be kind of cool. And that would be a good woman.
Like Mega Man. I made Real Doll 5000 because I was lonely. And Dr. Wily has stolen it.
Oh man.
But he's not even using it for evil. He's just fucking the shit out of it. Like Dr. Wily's just like, I'm just keeping this one.
Yeah, of course. You've let's be real. He would totally make one like that. I'm sure Dr. Light has a couple as well.
And that's what Roll is for.
Yeah. Oh boy. I was thinking it, but I didn't want to say
sweet, precious Roll.
I was thinking it, but I didn't want to say it. We just love. Mike always makes fun of about how like Mega Man was made. Rock was made as an assistant. He wasn't supposed to fight.
Right.
So they were kind of equivalent, but it is funny that like he's like, I'm going to make Mega Man into this super fighting robot, and then Roll is just the housekeeping robot still.
Yeah. She's like, I gotta go clean.
Yeah. She's like, I'm just cleaning.
Got a vacuum arm. Yeah, that's about it. Oh, what kind of robot? What would be Micah's robot master?
Oh, grill, like something with grilling, probably like a grilling robot. Cool.
Like a George Foreman bot.
It would be kind of cool if the robot had like a chest that was like an open grill.
It opens up and it's a grill.
And then like he like his whole thing is like he goes down and like he you can use him like that, but he like he's been reprogrammed to like fire shit out of it or whatever, you know.
He does like a back bend and then fire shoots up like straight up. You gotta jump over it. That'd be
kind of cool. That'd be kind of
cool.
cool.
Should have submitted an idea.
I tried to get Dagan to. I don't know. I actually don't know if he did. He might have. I used to draw them all the time when I was a kid.
Yeah.
You know, I just can't draw for shit. I'm not going to like submit some bullshit to them like that. Like I'll leave it to the people. We were talking though. Some of them were fucking dope. Like the firefighting robot was awesome.
Yeah. They were cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see. Anyway, Bubble Man, welcome to the club.
Yeah. I love Bubble Man. We went over all those Robot Masters. I remember Micah when they were showing them all and punching up.
Oh yeah, the contest ones, yes.
Yeah, those were so sick.
Yeah, that fireman is my favorite. The colors are just so I don't know, so bold, you know, at the gold and black and red and everything. Like it just that one for me was my favorite. There were some really cool ones, especially too, because they broke down like what the abilities were in their sketches. Like people put like phenomenal work into them. It's sad that only one of them gets to win because there were so many. I'm like, these are all great.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Man, it's coming up soon, Colin. Next year, Mega Man Override.
It is weird that with 11, well, 9, 10, 11, and Override, 9, 10, and 11 had no fan-submitted robots, but 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 are all fan-made robots. It's interesting that they didn't, like, so in other words, they didn't have like one from the game. It's like all of them.
Oh,
you know, all of the games were all made by fans. And then they would redraw them and like make them look right and consistent. And it's fun seeing like the ones like some of the pictures out there of like what people submitted and then like what the end result ended up being was cool. But I like that. I'm surprised that they're kind of only doing one as well and not more than one or maybe even all of them as fan. But like at the same time, 9, 10, and 11 have really dope robots and they were all made by people in Capcom. Like I love like some of them are so silly. Like Sheepman is fucking dope. Pump Man, I like how he has the pump on his head.
That is like, super funny. Yeah,
and he like uses it himself. It's so stupid. Solar Man, he has like the nuclear power, like the small nuclear power plant on his head. Really cool design. So I'm like, yeah, I kind of want to see like what the proper artists can do as well because they gave us Splash Woman. And God, Splash. The funny thing is, Splash Woman's 2008.
Long time
if they
ago.
did that today, it would actually be like a controversy.
Yeah. Whoa. First one. Yeah, I'm trying to think like 2026 Robot Masters. We're going to get like a Podcast Man or something like that.
I don't know. There's a funny there's a Kickstarter I just supported that's like all these Mega Man cartoons, and he drew a funny cartoon where it was like just like what happens, and it's like Dr. Light tries to figure out a problem to solve. He creates an amazing robot. Dr. Wily comes and takes the robot and reprograms it into this other thing. So yeah, you have to we have to figure out the problem, in other words, and try to figure out like what the thing would be to solve it. And yeah, I don't know what it would be these days.
Grifter Man could have that on there.
But they also did cool. Like I like how he steals robots that are just like anodyne as well. Like that's like a major thing in some of the games too. Not the first one, but like Micah knows. Like I have an obsession with Tundra Man from Mega Man 11, the figure skating robot. Like I think that's such a dope idea. He just like reprograms this like and the robot like figure skates while it's fighting you. And like does all these swirls and shit, and it's super cool. You know, so I like Clown Man was kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Shout out Clown Man. Yeah, Tundra Man, little sassy looking.
Yeah.
A little zesty.
Yeah. I mean, I guess your ice skating comes with the territory. That's the way it is.
Indeed. Yeah. Oh yeah. The figure skaters are, I played hockey my whole childhood and my teen years. My girlfriend in high school was a figure skater, but you always knew the figure skaters were on the ice before you because there was fucking divots all over the ice, and it used to fucking drive people nuts.
Because we're toe picking around.
And some more serious places would not allow figure skating on their ice at all. Yeah. Because a puck would there'd be like a divot in the crease, and like a puck would be and like bounce. It's like Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You know? People are fucking everything up.
Unacceptable.
It's pretty cool though. Figure skating's cool though. No disrespect.
No, yeah, obviously. But if you're trying to play hockey on that, go a different rink, right?
All those cheap bastards just run the Zamboni. Like what the hell?
Run the Zamboni.
Like, these guys.
Well, the Zamboni, but it doesn't do it. It doesn't do it. You have to patch it by hand when figure skaters use the ice.
Patching ice by hand is crazy.
Because the Zamboni is just water, but like when a divot goes in, it's like a whole thing out of the ice. It sucks. Yeah, it's too bad. Otherwise, that would be trivial. The Zamboni, God.
When was the last time you were on the ice?
In my 20s.
Damn. Yeah. It's been a hot minute.
I still rollerblade around and play, and like I played roller hockey a little bit in Santa Monica, because roller hockey on the beach in Santa Monica is a fairly big thing.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone's ever been there, like there's games all the time in the parking lots there. People just tip. It's very It's like Mighty Ducks too. Like they just like tip the garbage cans over. Because I remember when I first saw them, when I first started messing around down there, I asked them, I'm like, I'm actually a goalie. Do you need goalies? And they're like, oh, we don't play with goalies.
Damn.
Yeah. So I loved that was like kind of part of the scene. I have a cool video on Instagram from like a long time ago of me skating on the beach, like in one of the parking lots, like just playing around and stuff like that with like the palm trees, silhouettes and stuff like that. It's
okay.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay. All right, everybody. Before we get the episode, please check us out on patreon.com/laststandmedia. You can get early ad-free access to all of our shows and things like Sacred Symbols Plus, which I want to shout out the one that just went up with Colin and Kiwi Talks. He is a New Zealand interviewer who interviews a lot of game devs. I've known about him for a long time, so I was pretty interested to see him on there. I listened to a little bit of it today before we started, so I'll definitely finish that, but very interesting. So I recommend checking that out.
Yeah, I wanted to I'm fast. I as I complimented him at the beginning of the show, it's like I'm a really big fan of primary sources. It's probably maybe my history background in some way, but there's not many primary sources, and it's really hard to get people to talk. This guy really is impressive, in my opinion. Like it's a bootstrapped grinding thing to try to get people to say things, and to do it the right way. And so I think that kind of stuff, it's very easy to do. I do a lot of interviewing too, but it's very easy to talk about things. It's much harder to get other people to talk about things that are more interesting if you were willing to hear them. So when you get people at Rockstar and Naughty Dog and all these other places to talk deeply, I think it's worth his credit. And so yeah, please go check that out. And thank you for the kind words. Yeah, he was good. I actually am in conversations with the what is the I want to make sure I got the organization's name right. Stop Killing Games.
Oh, them. Yeah.
So they'll probably be a very near episode of Sacred Plus as well. Yeah.
Okay. That sounds cool to me. Yeah.
And Tokon, we're doing Tokon very soon too.
Yeah. Very exciting. I haven't gotten to play a whole lot of the game, but I will say it's very beautiful right away. What I played, I did like though. But you know how fighting games go. You got to spend a ton of time in there.
Yeah, I have no interest in it whatsoever. But we're gonna have Vince Ingenito on Fighting Game Expert. Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah. Oh yeah, if you guys want to hear, last week we had Babe Ruthless, who's a big fighting game content creator. She's great. She talked a bunch about Tokon with me and Gene, so check that out if you want to hear more of our thoughts on it. Also, if you want some merch, go to laststandmedia.store. Help Micah and Colin clean out their house. Hope we can get rid of merch.
It's too much. And we're about to get, like, we'll announce it more properly, but we're working on Stain Slayer now, so it's about to be, one day I'm going to wake up and there's going to be literally a pallet in my driveway. And that's because that's how they deliver the games.
Yeah.
And then I have to move them all inside, and then I have to figure out what I'm going to do with the fucking pallet.
Yeah.
It's the worst part. It's like, what am I supposed to do with this?
So when you do physical, is it all PlayStation usually?
Yeah, I would love to do Nintendo, but the minimum print is way too high. It's 5,000. Okay.
5,000. Wow.
We would never be able to sell that many. On PlayStation, it's 1,000.
Yeah. I was thinking, like, should I ask about Xbox? I was like,
Xbox, I'm not even sure what the minimum I'm not even sure what the minimum print is, but it's literally not worth it. Like almost no one sells physical games on Xbox.
Yeah.
It's not me. It's you.
It's everybody.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's just not that audience is a Game Pass audience. They're not going to buy physical games.
Yeah. I mean, there's no more Xbox section at my Target. It's gone. It's literally gone.
I saw some people putting out pictures of like the new section. Sony's is shrinking down too.
Yes.
It is what it is though.
Yeah.
I can't talk about the physical game thing again. I can't do it.
Oh, I know. That's
no. Well, we don't have to get into it. I just ordered E-Day physical, and like prior to that, I got Oblivion Remastered. That was physical. I'm just getting what I can for Xbox because truly these are the last Xbox games probably I'm going to be able to buy physical, so I just want those for my collection because Oblivion Remastered did come to Switch later, and at first I was kind of bummed, like I would have played it on there just for like the handheld mode, but I'm kind of glad I got it for Xbox because it's cool to have on the shelf.
Yeah, it's going to be a rare artifact in the future. Ancient civilization. Yeah.
It already is.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you gonna get Fable, Micah? I forgot if you're into Fable.
I've never played it, so for me that's like a wait and see type of thing. Like I want to see reviews, I want to see how it's received. I've never played Fable, so I'm interested, but I want to see what people say about it first, if it lives up to their expectations, like the actual Fable fans or not type deal.
Okay. So you're on the fence. Waiting to see, though. I like that. Colin, are you in?
Yeah, like I've messed around with Fable like a tiny bit, but like it was literally like running around in like my roommate's like post-game world.
Yeah, okay.
Like not actually playing any quests or anything, just running around.
Yeah.
No,
Colin,
I could care less about Fable.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's not for me. I don't care. I've never cared about Fable, but I'm not a huge Western role-playing game fan with Western sensibilities, if that makes sense. So like, what's another example? Like, I don't really care about the Elder Scrolls, right? Like, I'm like, I don't give a shit about this.
But I don't
know why. I'm like, I think it looks cool. Like, I'm kind of turned off to Bethesda anyway. I think Fallout 4 was just so like mediocre. I was like, I can't do this anymore. But so I think there's just like the Dungeons and Dragons fantasy stuff. It's cool. I don't mind it. I like a lot of things that use that, but it's got that particular permutation of Western open world role playing game and that stuff. It's just like, I'm a little more choosy in that regard. So
sure.
Fable, I'm sure is going to be great. I mean, it better be because they've been working on it for like 7 years. But but yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it does on PlayStation as well. Like, I don't know. Yeah. Xbox stuff doesn't seem to be doing great on PlayStation. So.
Well, they're not giving us the good stuff. Like, oh, here's Gears 1, not a Gears trilogy, not Gears 2. Here's Gears 1.
Yeah.
Eat it. And everyone's like, don't really want it.
Yeah.
Don't blame them either. It's like, you should have done a trilogy. Here's a version of Halo. It's like, you should have just given them the Master Chief Collection.
Right. That's fair. Yeah, that's true, Micah. I agree. It's like going to, like, you finally get in and out in your town or whatever. You know, you've lived on the East Coast for all your life and you hear about it. And they're like, yeah, we just do fries here. No burgers. And it's like, okay.
Exactly. Here, you can have Wendy's, but it's only the chicken sandwiches. And it's like, well, it's okay. It's limited fine. Menu. But I wanted that square burger.
Tisk. Yeah. Very interesting times ahead. And of course, next month, Bloodbath. It's going to be insane. I don't know what we're going to do. There's too much to play. I'm drowning.
Yeah, because actually, well, for me this month, Brigandine, Abyss, and Elden Ring come to Switch the same week. Yeah, and then we got Fire Emblem, the new one coming out in September. So it's like I might just die. Yeah,
and it's like me and Colin are definitely dead. There's a lot coming out.
Just that 3 weeks in September is insane. I also don't really know. I'm not going to play Control 2 until I replay Control 1 and I beat Alan Wake 2. So it's entirely possible that is the game that's going to lose simply by virtue of the fact that I'm not going to probably be able to get to those games anytime soon because Beast of Reincarnation is so much bigger than I thought it was and it's taking so much more time. And then I don't know. I want to play Onimusha 4 kind of, which comes out soon. I think it would be better to just be ready for one of them. And so even though Onimusha 4 might be related actually in some way. I don't know because it's unrelated to the original trilogy. But so yeah, because it's Dawnwalker and then Onimusha was pushed up because that fucked everything up too.
Yep.
So that's the next day, I think, or 2 days later.
Yeah, it's like 2 days later. Yeah.
And then the week after is Wolverine. And then the week after that's Control and Silent Hill on the same day, I think. Which is
disgusting.
Too bad for Control, I think. But but only on PlayStation, on PC, because it's not on Xbox, so it won't hurt it everywhere. But it's gonna be a crazy sitch out there.
Yeah,
and it's good though. It actually kind of sucks for those games because there's probably gonna be 1 or 2 of those are gonna lose.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's gonna be some unfortunate losers, and it just makes me laugh. You know, if I see anyone be like, "Where there's no games to play, there's no games," I'm gonna strangle them.
And then my favorite thing about that is then people pretend that no one says that.
Yeah.
That's my other favorite thing. It's like no one's saying there's no games. I'm like, yeah, they are. I'm so sick. It's like the whole meme about how like people try to explain things to you like they're like 20 years old and you're in your 40s and they're trying to explain something you saw.
Yeah.
I saw this recently with episode 1 where everyone's like, I can't believe people hated this. Look at this. I'm like, shut up. You weren't even there. You have no idea what you're talking
Colin,
about.
Yeah, you're preaching to the choir here, man. You're preaching to the choir. Everyone is like, man, the prequels are so good. I love the prequels. And I'm like, dude, they suck. And everyone hated them at the time. Everyone hated it. I don't want this revisionist history whatsoever.
I do recall with episode 1 though that it took a minute. Like it took a beat because people didn't really want to accept it.
Exactly. It was like stage of grief. You're like, we can't. We're like the bargaining phase with it. We were like, yeah, it's like
you have to understand that I was walking around high school, 9th grade that year it came out with a Darth Maul shirt on. Okay.
Yeah.
I want you to fucking internalize that.
Yeah.
And bring that with you in your life.
Everyone telling me how great of a movie Revenge of the Sith is, and I'm like, bro, I was in the theater. I was in high school, and I remember people laughing. I couldn't
take it. I couldn't take it.
Laughing.
Yeah, I remember seeing it. Yeah, that was 2005.
Yeah,
I was in college. I saw it. I was home that summer. 2005, ironically, was the last summer I ever was like kind of went home. That was my sophomore year, I guess, in college, and I saw it with my best friend at home, Mike Pope. And I was like, this isn't it. And then I never saw it again until maybe a couple of years ago or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was offensive. It was like, you had to see it through at that point, right? Like,
we were locked in. Yeah, we had to see it.
I was like, well, I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see what happens with this fucking bullshit.
I remember not being like amped to see it. I was just like, all right.
Yeah, because I saw it like well after it came out. I didn't even care at that point. Because episode 1, 9th grade, I saw it. My dad took me out of school. We went to, my brother worked in Connecticut in an animation studio out there. We went and saw it opening day, opening show.
That's cool. Yeah.
I was a senior in high school when the second one came out. Didn't go to school. I had friends that drove and stuff at that point. Like went and saw it just because because we were like, well, this is the Empire. You might remember this. It's like, well, this is the Empire Strikes Back of the
dark one.
So maybe it's going to be, but you didn't, was that the one that Obi-Wan went to the diner, or was that the first one?
That's the second one.
That's the yeah. Where I was like, I was like, there was just certain things where, and Yoda fighting was in the second one too, right? Or was that in the third one?
No, that's the third.
Okay. Cause that was the other thing where I was like, I remember being like, at the time, even being like, why are you breaking everything?
Yeah, why is he even using a lightsaber?
The only thing that was worse than that was the Holdo maneuver in the new movies that brought into what I'm talking about? Where they used the ship to ram the other ship. And then I literally walked out of the movie and I was like, so why don't they just create fleets of ships driven by droids?
Yeah.
And just ram everything.
Suicide bomb, yeah. It makes no sense. I don't know, man. I mean, like,
Micah's zoned out because we're talking about Star Wars.
I was like, sometimes I'm like, I was about to say sorry, Micah, but you live with him.
She here every few weeks. I go on some diatribe about Star Wars.
Oh, I mean, it's not even. It's every family party because your family also likes Star Wars. So like every barbecue, at some point, Colin and Allie start talking about Star Wars, and I just get to be alone with my thoughts for a half hour, and it's fine.
Yeah,
the best part about not liking it is that everybody seems to be so upset with it now, and it's like, great, because I've hated it this whole time. So now everybody's on my page.
I'm so obsessed with how annoyed by it I am. I love it. Like I'm totally self-aware about how demented I am about it. Like it's one of those fun things for me.
I'm annoyed about the revisionist history about the prequels and everything like that. That's what I'm mad about.
Yeah,
fucking idiots.
It's because it's being driven by children who the movies were really made for. That actually did.
That's the thing. The only thing I'll say is, movie comes out in 1999. I'm 6 years old. Mm-hmm. I didn't like it then. I thought Darth Maul was really scary. I specifically remember my parents went to see the movie. My sister and I stayed over at my grandma's house that night so they could go out to the movie, and we did a sleepover at grandma's. I thought Darth Maul was the scariest thing I'd ever seen. But a lot of other kids, I do remember kids my age wearing the Darth Maul shirts and like Darth Maul lunchbox, and like the boys in my class really liked it. So it's like, I won't even call it revisionist, only because just to say it's like for literal children. If you were 6 years old when that movie came out, you probably did love it. Yeah. And then so it's like, it's not revisionist in the sense that people who are your age are like, oh no, like if they're saying, oh no, everybody liked it. No, they didn't. But literal children, my peeps, it's like, yeah, no, a lot of them did like it. They really love those movies as kids. It doesn't mean they're actually good.
Gonna happen again with the sequel trilogy in like 10 years from now, maybe. You'll start hearing about how underrated those are.
Everybody loves BB-8. Here's the thing. I like BB-8.
Yeah,
I call
BB-8.
Treble BB-8. You know, that's her. I've never seen it, but I like that little BB-8 boy. So like, I'd call her that. You know, like some of them are cute. I don't hate Star Wars. I just don't like it. I have a Star Wars electronic battleship game that my grandpa got me when I was a kid, and it's like really fun. My sister and I loved that. I like R2-D2. I was terrified of C-3PO as a child. I thought he was so scary because his mouth didn't move. But like, you know, so it's like I don't hate it. I just don't enjoy it.
You don't like C-3PO because you're homophobic.
Dude,
is he gay? Is he supposed to be gay?
No, that's just like the joke that's been forever.
He comes off as like
he's just British, right?
Yeah,
so it's just like
everyone calls him like the gay robot. Like in The Simpsons, they always like reference him as like gay robot or something like that. It's so good.
I found him so scary when I was a child. I thought he was just terrifying. I really was not fucking with Star Wars as a kid. I was like, this shit is so scary.
Yeah.
Why are you showing this to me?
Yeah. I was 12 when Phantom Menace came out. I remember 6th grade, big 6th grade. Saw it. I thought it was okay at the time. Like I had fun, but it wasn't until I got like maybe a couple years older and I started to realize how sick like Empire is because of like the themes and everything like that, and the whole Dagobah and Luke training with Yoda, how cool that stuff is. Then I started to look at like, and I think when Attack of the Clones came out or whatever, that's when it like really lost me. Where I was like,
well, yeah, it became kind of irredeemable at that point. That's the way I felt about The Last Jedi, which is the worst Star Wars movie, even worse than any of the prequels. Like I'll stand by that forever. But it is what it is. Like what? Who cares? It really is fun to talk about because it is interesting from so many. I know a lot of people are not into it, but it's like it's interesting from so many angles that have nothing to do with Star Wars. About like managing brands, about big companies buying and selling these things, about not planning things, about having no foresight, about having bad taste. You know, Kathleen Kennedy, like, what are you doing? What have you done?
What have you done?
You know, and about being careful what you wish for. Yeah, that's kind of because I will never forget when that was announced in 2012 and I was at IGN and I was like really like elated.
Yeah, me too.
Because I felt so downtrodden as a Star Wars fan where I was like, this is awesome. And this is going to be great. And Disney's a great company and all the rest. And they I said it a million times, they started out strong. That was what was kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
It actually seemed for a while, like through Rogue One, that it was going to be great. But
they messed it up. Whoops.
We'll talk about this again in a month. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry.
Not even that far, because the listeners are going to be like, Colin, you gotta watch Andor. Shut up. I don't want to watch it. I have to live in the house. I have to share the television. I've watched enough horrible shows with Colin. I'm not watching Andor or I'm getting divorced. Like, there's a line. There's a line, and it's like, we're not watching Star Wars television shows. You know, it's like, I got to share the TV. I got to be in here. Listeners, shut up about Andor.
Yeah.
We're not watching it.
Give her a break.
I don't want it in the house.
She's gonna have to go through Final Fantasy I
had to watch Lost. I had to watch The Handmaid's Tale. Worst show I've probably ever seen in my life. I am not watching Star Wars television. You can watch a Star Wars movie. That's like 2 hours. The Handmaid's Tale is good for one season, and then it turns into blue-haired leftist propaganda about what would happen if all their worst ideas came true. And you know what? It's never going to happen.
You know what?
But they took it very seriously.
Well, you know what? It's like I said this on a show previously. It's like the Handmaid's Tale is responsible for maybe a third to a half of the complete political like insanity of assumptions of what could happen. Like it's
responsible
one shot,
for
one-shotted people. Like it totally one-shotted people.
The fattest woman you've ever seen wearing the Handmaid's Tale outfit, and it's like, bitch, they wouldn't have chosen you. You think
they would have if she was fertile.
There's no fat handmaids. There's like one that's kind of chubby.
That's true, I guess. But there's no. Well, there are. I guess some of the ants are fat and stuff.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. They wouldn't have. They're like, you'll see the biggest broad you've ever seen wearing her little bonnet and Handmaid's Tale thing, and it's like they wouldn't have picked you. You'd have been a Martha. You probably would have just been sent to the colonies. But either way,
it's probably a struggle, man, because Gilead has almost certainly been embargoed by almost every country in the world. So like they probably can't even get sugar. So it's like they're not eating anything. They're eating like beans. They probably have a really good diet of like meat and beans and stuff like that.
This
like
is
they seem
food.
fit.
This is beans.
This is food. This is beans. By the way, Brad, you want to hear a funny story?
Yeah.
So the other Mike and I talked about it. I was going to bring this up on the show because I just thought it was funny.
This is the weirdest segue. Like, so unrelated.
It's really weird when we get to what I'm going to talk about. I just thought you would appreciate this.
Mm-hmm.
The other night we went to bed, and Micah was in the mood, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, unfortunately, I'm in the middle of a chess game on my phone, right? But it's not a game against like a computer.
Right.
It's a game against another person. And I don't want to be a dickhead. I hate when people on chess.com, like it happens every once in a while, they'll just not play a move and just let the clock run forever, or until it's over, or why you got the hot dog out?
She's embarrassed.
I'm just hiding.
So I asked Micah, I was like, I could do both. Like but she wasn't, because I was like, I was kind of winning the game at that point. That's why I didn't really want to abandon it too. I'm like, I'm kind of up a piece. I got to just ride this out. I'm going to win probably 10 points, my Elo score. And like, if you just wait a few minutes, and, but then I was like, I could probably put this player away and also perform, but she wasn't into that. So we had to wait about 15 minutes, but then we got the task done at the end of the day. But I just thought it was, I tried to multitask and tried to be like, well, I can do both of these things at once.
I get it.
But I didn't want to be the guy that like fucked the game up for the other person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm going to resign, or I'm going to just let it play out, or I'm just going to play badly. Like, I didn't want to be that guy. I didn't want to put that energy out into the world because I'm not playing against a computer opponent or something like that. So
that is like the most true gamer story I've ever heard from someone. You're a true gamer.
I won the chess game and I had relations right after that.
But you're like, honey, the game comes first.
She understands. You see, the thing about Micah is that I think she understood how bad I felt about it. Where I'm like, I'm just in a bind here.
True gamer. That's what I'm saying.
I know what I married,
Yeah, you got into.
Yeah. No, I know this man.
Yeah, you know what you signed up for.
And I lay it down.
I do.
Yeah.
I lay it down. So
let it be known. Yeah. Put that for the record. Ricardo C. wrote in, said, greetings, chooms. As we exit the dog days of summer and fall is around the corner, I must ask a very important question. What are your thoughts on pimento cheese, a staple in the South? Had it for the first time this summer at Chick-fil-A and have even made my own now. It's too good. Micah, cheese.
I've never had pimento cheese. I don't think I'd like it. I say that because I'm not much of a cheese person. Well, it has mayonnaise in it, which I don't like. I don't like mayonnaise. But I'm really not big on cheese like spreads or dips. Like cheese on a burger, fine. Cheese on like a chicken sandwich, like a hot chicken sandwich, fine. But like cold cheese spread, not for me. Like I love cheese and crackers. I love pizza. I like mac and cheese. But this specifically, I'm like, It's never looked good to me to be like, you want some fluffy mayonnaise cheese? I don't know.
Yeah.
Look, I'll be honest. I'm looking at this. This looks like something Rush would barf up on your carpet.
It doesn't look great. It kind of looks like scrambled eggs with stuff in it.
Yeah.
Is like what it looks like. And I hear it's really good, but also I'm also lactose intolerant, so I get a pass. I get a pass on not trying weird cheese because I got to make every cheese count because it's going to hurt me later.
Yeah. Colin, any experience?
What is a pimento? Cherry pepper. I didn't even know that.
Oh, so that's what those are, eh? In the olives? That's what it is.
I guess so. Yeah. I've never tried it. I've always kind of been turned off by it, but it's never really been present in my life anyway. So it's not like it's like, oh, this is something like someone in my family makes or something. It's just like,
too, most of these recipes have cream cheese, which is why I'd never make it for you because you don't like cream cheese. Like there's some recipes don't have it, but most of them it's like mayonnaise, cheddar, cream cheese, etc. Some of them don't, but I don't know which one is the traditional one.
What That other thing you make though is pretty good that I really like. It's like a cheese mayo.
Oh, the millionaire's dip. Yes,
Yeah, I
it's
love that
like
shit. Put that on hot
yellow
dogs.
cheddar, mayonnaise, green onions, bacon, and toasted almonds. I think that's everything. Yeah, that's a big hit with the family. I again don't like it because I don't like
Right.
mayonnaise, but the family loves that dip, and that's what you were putting it on hot dogs.
Oh my god, I was putting on
The
hot
last
dogs.
party.
It was so, I'm
Oh,
so
that's so funny, man.
I was gonna say I'm so fat. I'm so fat, but really I'm losing weight. So don't know how.
Good.
But
Good.
I just stopped snacking.
Yeah, that'll go a long way. Definitely.
Yeah.
Slowly over time. Very nice. Micah's getting fucking ripped. It's getting
Oh,
crazy.
dude, she's
trying.
I'm so proud of her. She's so.
Oh, thank you.
I tell her that. I mean, I tell you that. Like I'm so proud of how it's like really commitment. Like I don't enjoy working out.
Mhm.
It's not like something I really look forward to. I know I should and that I have to, or I'm gonna get fat and sedentary and all that kind of stuff. So it's like you got to go for your walk. You got to lift the
Gotta do
weights.
it.
You got to do those things. I just grin and bear it. I'm a very OCD kind of like just repetitive task person, and but Micah like does it because she wants the outcome, and in fact she's like much more disciplined about it because it transcends her diet, her schedule, her sleep schedule, the things, her supplements and all the rest. Like it's
We're supplementing now. Yeah.
it's impressive. It's truly it's impressive.
Going for the Abby build, Micah?
Oh God, no, we can't go all nips no tit. You can't go that far with it.
Boy.
But,
Oh yeah, that really stuck with you.
oh my God, I mean that was
Horrified
just
me.
my favorite thing. They didn't have to show her naked. They did this to
Dude,
me. They did this to
when
me.
she's getting her cheeks clapped, that like scarred me. I was like, oh, ugh.
Like, I respect very muscular women. I respect the hell out of them, but I don't ever want to take it that far. You know, I would still like to be a somewhat soft and delicate person versus like Rocky Boulder body, and that's dope. That's really cool. But one time, it was when I met Bobby Lashley. All right, and I got to take a picture with him, and I did like the side hug, and the man felt like a boulder. Okay,
Yeah.
like the man felt like a brick wall, and I was like, Jesus Christ, I can't believe like how not human this guy felt. So I was like, yeah, there's definitely a limit for me of like, I would never take it that far. I don't want to.
Yeah. All right. Game time. Dude, I got to bring this up. So in my stream one time, someone's like, I wish you guys would shoot the shit more. Or they're like, you should have a show where you just shoot the shit. I'm like, have you heard any of our shows? We're 37 minutes into this show. We haven't talked about
just the
gaming at
intro.
all. Yeah.
Yeah, this is nothing.
And
but
what a
sacred
range
to
of
this man.
topics we covered. Star
Yeah.
Wars, The Handmaid's Tale, chess.
Yeah.
Relations.
Yeah.
I was going to leave that one out.
Yep.
Mega Man.
Mega Man.
Mega Man. All right. Colin,
Mm,
Beast of Reincarnation.
mm.
I've played through this as well.
Oh, so you've beaten it.
I have beaten it. Yep.
Okay, cool. I'm about halfway through. How long did it take you?
Like 20 something.
Oh, really? I'm 20 hours in. I'm doing everything in every map though.
I'm usually pretty quick, I think, compared to most people with games.
You could do it like once you learn how to play the game. I don't think it's very challenging. Like it's funny because it's a little annoying at first, but you can balance it out. Like the bosses, the last I think 2 or 3 bosses I fought, I didn't die at all. Like fighting them, but you got to be patient.
Yeah, just patience.
It's not really a Souls like or anything like that. It's just you just got to be patient. So Beast of Reincarnation. So yeah, I am enjoying it very much, and I understand some of people's issues with it. It's a very melancholy, quiet game, and I like that. I think a lot of post-apocalyptic dystopian games use that to their advantage and explain the emptiness of their world through that loneliness and that kind of ethereal emptiness that transcends the game. I understand it's not for everyone, but it's for me for sure. Like I really like it. Like I'm really quite smitten with it, and I think it's probably better than the mean person that played it, right? Thinks it is. It's not on Sacred Symbols that I have a weird fascination with studios that do the same shit over and over again and then do other things. And Game Freak has always been one of those studios. They're in Pokemon World. they make an enormous amount of money and have found an enormous amount of success in that world, and they rarely get out of it. And I was bringing up, I don't think Dustin knew what the fuck I was talking about. Do you remember that game? It was like Harmo Night or something like that on 3DS.
Harmo Night? No. I'll look it up.
Something like that. That was like one of their games. That was like, what was like,
okay, Game Freak. They did Timbo as well.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. Timbo, so Sega published that, and that was the first real time I was like, oh, I think they can actually do something cool. And when I first saw this game, whenever it was shown at Game Awards or PSX or something, or not PSX, State of Play or whatever the fuck it was, I have no idea. They all blur together, but I was immediately attracted to it. And I was like, yeah, this game looks really, really cool. And I would argue it's kind of like Horizon meets Scarlet Nexus meets Enslaved meets just aesthetically a little bit Front Mission, something like that, especially in your ATST like walker. It's bigger than a
a lot of ruined buildings and grass everywhere.
Right. But I like it, similar to Horizon, and why it reminds me of Horizon, that it's not this it doesn't wear it as much as Horizon does on its sleeve, but it's not this like, oh, anywhere world. It's Japan.
Yeah.
And Horizon is the United States. And that's what and the other cool thing I think about Beast of Reincarnation is that it's way in the future. Horizon takes place, I think, 500 or 800 years in the future or something like that from when everything went down. But this is like 2000 plus years from when everything went down. And so you're in the 4000s, which I think is kind of neat. And so the world around you is truly decayed to a Roman-like degree, if that makes any sense. You'll have these random things that, in fact, Mike, I always bring this up because I love it so much, is Pentiment. One of the cool things about that game is that they're Roman. No one really understands the Roman ruins. No one even really knows who the Romans are because a lot of them aren't educated. And these things just exist. There's just an aqueduct. No one can explain it. And I like that the world is kind of like that. I don't want to spoil the story. It's kind of, I think the story is really neat. It's about people. It's about, I don't want to say, let me think how I can say this without, it's about, and maybe you interpret it differently, but it's about people who had the means and money to avoid a calamity and how it blows up in their face. And in this game, and you learn this very early in the game, it's like people retreat. There's like this blight that like corrupts living organisms, and people retreat their consciousnesses and their lives into robots. But it's only something that's like available to the privileged. And these thousands of years later, there's still like this robot caste, and then this like human caste, or caste, depending on how you want to say it. And the humans live kind of subservient and are more vulnerable to the dangers of the world than these mysterious kind of robots that run it. And so you're this hunter, this 18-year-old Japanese, guys, if you're upset about the unattractive women, she's an attractive woman.
Yeah.
Right. So you have that. She reminds me a little bit of Eve. Her flat affect. She's not as, they don't sexualize her. I'll give you that. And that's cool.
They don't.
And I appreciate that. But she's very cute. And her flat affect reminds me of Stellar Blade. These games were in development at the same time. I don't think it's necessarily intentional. There, of course, one is South Korean as well. One is Japanese. So there's going to be different sensibilities. I wonder if you notice this, Brad. So the game is laid out in these Borderlands-like zones that connect to each other, that are interconnected. You can go from one to the next. Although they're not interconnected where you can run between them. You actually have to use this walker separate to load them up. Right. So it's a series of like, I think I was looking, I think it's like 12 or 14 places you go in the game or something. I think I'm on like the 7th or 8th place. And some of them are a little larger than others. And there's a lot to find in these worlds. And it's for people that don't know, I should have said this earlier, it's like a third person hack and slash action game. It's an action RPG. And you explore there's a story that drives you forward, and you're chasing Nushi, I think they're called, which are like these blighted super creatures in pursuit of the Beast of Reincarnation. And you learn all about that in the story. I won't spoil too much of it. And you're with a small group of people, including a character named Brad, which Micah and I find very funny.
Brado, yeah.
And you have like this little girl that like you saved at some point that like cooks for you and like cleans for you, and you drive around in this little house with them basically that's on like legs. It's cool. And you go from this zone to zone, kind of pursuing these Nushi and advancing the story. And then the zones are a little bit nonlinear. There are like powerful optional fights you can find in them. And there are these like shrines that you find and optional items. So it's cool. And I enjoy that. I think one of the small user experience things that I think I would change, and they could patch this, and I wonder if they will, is like the game doesn't track what you've done and what you haven't done very well, which is a little annoying to me considering the game is so menu based, and it would be really trivial for them to say like this zone has 7 elite enemies and you've gotten 6 of them, and this zone has, it's like there's nothing like that, and that shit pisses me off. And in fact, that is very Stellar Blade, because one of the things that really annoyed me about Stellar Blade and why I didn't get the platinum trophy in it was because you have to find all the save points, but it doesn't tell you which ones you found. And I'm like, there's no universe I'm doing this. So like, I'll wait until I play it again and I'll do it more carefully, which I'll do in preparation for Stellar Blade 2. Although if they continued on this AI train so vehemently, I might not play that game. I gotta be honest. So things that are wrong with it. The biggest thing that I think is wrong with this game is its lack of communication with the player about what you can and cannot do, and what the rules are about where and where you cannot go. And I don't know if this is something that you experience yourself, Brad, but there's no rhyme or reason to any of it. And what I mean by this is you're in these, this is an important part, is it's a very vertical game. You can do this thing where you can shoot into the air with like this tree-like trunk that's like her hair and all. It's pretty cool. And so it allows you basically this huge double jump, and you use it to traverse the world. But like you can do things in the game that you would think you're breaking it. And then the thing that seems obvious, they're like, no, you can't do that. Mm-hmm. And it happens, I've shown Micah it happens over and over and over again. So like there'll be like a bridge and you're trying to go over this bridge, but you can actually go underneath the trestle and like climb up the arcs, like the buttresses of the bridge, and do all this and explore up there. But then there'll be like another one, and you do the same thing, and it's like, nope, here's a wall. Don't do it.
A lot of invisible walls.
And then I find myself, I'm like, can I do this? And I feel like I'm breaking the shit out of the game. And then like, oh no, there's something up there. Like hopping on these little steps that like don't even seem like they're really there. But then you try to do the obvious thing, like jump through a gap, and or go into water that's a little too deep. The falls are like totally random. Sometimes the game will let you jump into other areas. Sometimes the game just like kills you and you have to like actually manually wrap around into it, probably because it's not loaded. So that is my biggest takeaway, like negatively about the game, is that it's too chaotic. And I am patient with design. That's like I brought up the point that Michael, like the mattress in the door, Resident Evil design. Like I can't get through this door. It's like I understand you have to direct people occasionally, be like, you're not supposed to go here, But to do that like arbitrarily constantly is weird to me. And I just think that the design could be better from that perspective. The other problem I have with the game is that I think it's probably too deep for what it is, and I don't mean story wise. I mean the systems. Like there are a lot of systems, and I wonder like, what am I really getting out of this? So an example is you can farm or like grow crops, and you can like raise chickens, but like the chickens only give you eggs. It's like, why is this even make? Because I was waiting for the game to be like, am I going to find like a different animal here? And I still have, maybe you do in the future. I don't know. But where I am in the game about halfway through, I'm just like, yeah, this is a little weird. Like, why am I doing what? There's just these little micromanagey things that do make it cozy. But
sure.
And then the way things interconnect, like you get these, you level up, you use the points to level up these 3, you have like strength and defense and whatever, and then those numbers like get to a certain level, then that unlocks this thing on this grid. Then you use the points you get when you kill enemies, not the experience points, but every enemy you kill, you get like one of these points. Then you dump those points into this. It's like, I don't know, man. I think you could have like, I don't think it needs to be this deep.
I agree. Yeah. I think like a lot of the items you find in the world, it just feels kind of worthless to me, because it's like, well, you just have coup or whatever, make stuff, and that's about it. That's all you'd really do with them. It's like you kill a robot, whatever, you get a part, Colin. I'm sure you've picked up a million of them. But I'm like, this feels like I'm like why am I even getting this kind of stuff? It just feels worthless to me. Same with like a lot of the optional stuff you're saying, like the growing, the cooking, and all. Like the cooking, you can get buffs and all that kind of stuff, but it's just like there's too much when it doesn't need to be here at all, or it's not deep enough to warrant how much extra things they've thrown in.
The cooking thing is interesting to me because I was trying to read the design into it. When you go to sleep in the game to like start the next day, your female like child companion cook slave offers to like make something for you, and you get you were calling it a buff, but it's actually permanent statistical boosts as far as I can tell, right? And I was saying to Micah when I was playing it, I'm like, you could bust this open, like
just keep spamming it.
Yeah, like you could just keep sleeping. I don't think there's anything stopping you. And then I was trying to read into the design about how kind of cumbersome the whole situation is, about how it kind of makes you take a few minutes. Like you have to be in the vehicle, you have to like talk to someone, then you have to like sleep, then you have to go to the door, then you have to like, and I think they were making it annoying on purpose because it might be the only thing stopping you from busting it open. And it reminds me a little bit of the job point thing in Final Fantasy Tactics, where it's like, you're making this so easy to like farm that like, it's making me wonder why I would never do it. And, so I've had to be cognizant of those little things, but that's me like looking at it through more of the lens of someone who plays a lot of games and kind of sees the seams. But where the game shines, I think, is just in its experience. It's like, it is as the kids say, a vibe. I think the game has an interesting, though repetitive soundtrack. I like the world. And again, the world itself and the monsters in the world, which are very floral and natural and, you know, animalistic. It's very Scarlet Nexus. Again, I don't think that they did it on purpose, because I think those games were probably also in development at the same time. As far as I understand, Beast of Reincarnation has been in development since before COVID. So it's an older game that's been kind of percolating for a while. So I'm not saying they're stealing, but it's actually quite similar. If for the 7 of you who have played Scarlet Nexus, like I have this game, it's very similar, I think, in that regard. And I love that design of and her hair getting like more shit on it.
Yeah, like as she like flowers blooming on it. Yeah, right. That is cool.
As she like goes further and further, because her whole thing, this is what's cool about, and I just love lore in games. I think a lot of people do. But like how they're like, there's this blight that happens every 100 years, but the blights are always different. And they have this kind of battle, like this evolutionary battle, like survival of the fittest. And Emma, the protagonist's kind of advantage is that she is not immune. She's immune to all of them, and she can like harness them, while one would kill this person and then this person who's immune to it, the next one would kill him, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of thought put into it as well. And the place I'm in now, which is not a spoiler to say what it is, it's like called Fuji or something like that. There's like a shit ton of things like lore in that part of the game, like that you find where it explains what's going on. And I just found that like last night, where it's like, oh, I see. You know, like about this place called the Capital and all the rest. So I really, really like it. I think it's great. I highly recommend it, but I also understand it's not going to be for everyone. And, you know,
one of my big problems with that game, Colin, is I actually saw they were going to patch this, is some of it's like storytelling in a lot of ways, is like, how many times have I had a conversation with, I think her name's Kagura, the slave girl that cooks for you, about like being a family or something like that. I feel like I had that conversation with her like 10 plus times. Or just talking with Brad at the front seat about nothing. I just feel like you spin your wheels way too fucking much in that game, and everything's delivered very slow. It makes sense for narratively for Emma why she is like that and everything. But I'm like, you got to speed up a little bit.
You're right. Yeah.
Dude, like,
go.
I don't just say like, I've been making fun of it, because Kagura would be like, have you ever eaten dinner with another person? And I'm like, what the fuck did you just ask me? This is just like I know it's supposed to be like heartfelt and shit, but I'm just like, and then they're asking Brad, and they're like, Brad, have you ever loved someone? It's like, oh my God, like this is just so fucking weird.
Everything just takes a long time for them to say.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm writing my, like, not even for the show, but just keeping my own notes for games, as I've been saying, to just kind of remember things a little bit better. Because I play so many games, and they like, I don't know about you guys out there, but like I just forget about half the shit I play completely. Like I look at my trophies sometimes, and I'm like, oh, I don't even remember playing this at all. I have literally I have no recollection of this place. But the so stupid. The tempo of the game, I think, is actually really interesting. it does get weighed down with those little, not the nonsense that you're not looking for. But I do like how the game interrupts you at random times that you don't expect. It feels kind of natural. You know how, in other words, a game will wait until you get to the next place and then it'll cut in. And it will cut in there in this game too. But this game's like, oh, you got halfway there. I'm going to bail out and go to the walker and like heal and drop my shit off or whatever. And then it's like, okay, we're actually going to have a little story beat here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. It feels a little more like real time. And as opposed to just kind of dicking around, which everyone breaks the reality of time in games by just the nature of how we play them and what we do in them. And that's just the way it is. But so I understand what you guys are saying. And I think you're right. Because a lot of it is just unnecessary. Like when I'm saving at the campfire and then I get a call from Brad and it's like, I'm just trying to save my game, dude. Like we don't need to have like a discourse every time. But I will say I was laughing about certain things in the story that are so funny. Like if you read between the lines, like there's a scene where like Kagura, I call Kagura a slave because there's a scene early on where she's like, Brad told me not to look out the windows. Right. So like she's in this like box. She has no idea what's going on in the world. And then Emma comes and explains things to her. And then Kagura writes a secondhand diary based on this shit that Emma is doing. And then so they live in this, it's a space like the size of this room, I guess, maybe a little bit bigger than the room I'm in. Maybe big, well, you can't see Micah's room, but maybe more like the size of the room she's in. And so I'm like, this is so strange. So there are 2 beds, right? Brad is always sitting in the cockpit.
Mm-hmm.
The whole cockpit is made of glass. So Kagura can never look forward. And then you find out like halfway through the game, maybe a third of the way through the game, Kagura says something to you like how she never talks to Brad.
Yeah.
So you're gone for like days at a time, right? With your wolf companion. And these 2 are in there and they're not even acknowledging each other. Brad like never gets up. Kagura can't look forward. And she lives in like this weird space. It's just it's very funny. Like I'm like, what is going on in this game? It's very silly. But
it is.
Anyway, nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, I think the game's okay. I enjoy it overall, but it's hard for me to recommend to people unless you like kind of like action games like this, I would say. To me, it's like, obviously they're inspired by Nier Automata.
That's what Dustin was saying, and I don't have that, because I was saying it reminds me of Stellar Blade, and he's like, well, Stellar Blade is like Nier.
Yes.
And I don't have that connection, so.
Yeah. They are definitely both inspired by Nier. But I do like the game overall. I have problems with it. I think there's not enough enemy variety in the game, not nearly enough. The boss fights are, for the most part, just fine. They're okay, but kind of expect more from an action game nowadays. And like I said, the way they told the story and all that shit, like talking about random bullshit like rice for like 5 minutes. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, stop calling me, kind of thing like that. It's too much.
And that's the other thing. There's so many systems where it's like, all right, you study crop yields. The dog is going to somehow study how to make something.
He'll make a Molotov cocktail, somehow.
Right. You're going to use your amber, which is like the kind of basic currency to upgrade your weapons, but they're all going to have the same strength. Like,
yes,
there's weird, I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm shitting on it, but it's like, I'm saying there's just too much of this.
I know, that's the thing with the game. It's like,
there is
a lot to shit on the game, but there's something cool there that I did like. But I'm just saying there's like a lot of just bullshit you're going to have to deal with. So just be prepared for it.
I do like the combat. Like I do like using Ku, the wolf, in the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's competent, actually. He deals like good damage and everything like that.
Right. And you use triangle to like call up a menu that slows down time, and you can like give him commands, and then you build up like your currency. He has like points that you use based on and you block and dodge enemy attacks to build that gauge up. So there is a nice little cycle there. And then like his attacks, if you execute them well with like a brief button press, will give you like an armor boost or a health boost, and he can like cast his own shit and use his own items like we were saying earlier and stuff. So I think the game really shines in combat. And one of the cool things I like in the game too, and this isn't a huge spoiler, is often you have like your own creature companion, and so do other people in the world, and often you fight both the person and their creature at the same time against you and your creature. And I'm like, this is dope. So they each have their own health bar, and you kind of like square off against each other, and maybe like we'll switch up or maybe like gang up on one. It's
yes.
I think it's fun, man. I think it's a cool game. Maybe it's $60. I think that's an appropriate price. I would call it high end AA, low end AAA. But I'm sure it'll go on sale before the end of the year.
I just think that game has a problem, like you're saying, with it has cool ideas that it does too much as well, where I'm like, it's not special anymore, kind of thing like that. It's like when I talk about Liza P and Liza P, where they're like, oh, a secret second hidden phase. I'm like, well, that's like fucking every boss in this game. So.
Yes, there is that. There is usually you have to you become prepared for that reality, because like when it happens the first time, you're spent, right? I'm like, oh, I have no more health vials, or I'm on my last legs, and then you have to balance that, and then you come to expect it. So you change your strategy. A lot of it is using Ku to like heal you slowly over time, and if you find those little shrines, the Dragon Vein Shrine, which I keep saying the Dragon Vein, that just
like
just
a dragon cock vein.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Exactly what we said, the Dragon Dick Vein.
Yeah, where I'm like, why is it the Dragon Vein? But you find those, and then it gives you more vials, which you can use to heal yourself and all the rest. And they are patching it actively. I will say, I was talking to someone on PSN Profiles, because they had a similar experience. Is that I did experience a bug where one of the there's like elite enemies you find on the map. They have like these little red icons, but like one of them is just not showing up, and you have to kill them all to get a trophy. There is New Game Plus, and your everything carries over to New Game Plus, so it is my hope it can just be ameliorated there. But if that's like a permanent break, I'm gonna fucking lose it. Just letting you know. Then it's a 0.
They'll fix it. They'll fix it.
They'll patch it. Okay, cool, very nice. Micah, The Lord of the Rings, War in the North. I played a little bit. I played like for 2 hours with Lockmort. Actually, me and him were doing co-op together. But I assume you've played more than I have.
Yeah, maybe like 2.5-ish hours. I got distracted later by the other game I bought. So
let me read these really quick before we get into the game. Doggy Style with Miss Frizzle wrote in. Disturbing name.
Nice.
Micah. War in the North has been on my backlog for over a decade. Is it finally time for me to buy it again and play it? Should I play co-op or solo? Thanks. And Brian O'Neill wrote and said, I was very happy when Lord of the Rings War in the North was announced this week. So I logged onto my PS5 Pro to buy it on PSN. To my surprise, it was €21.59. And yet on every other platform, it was $17.99. Did I fall foul of Sony's dynamic pricing? Needless to say, I bought it on Steam, and now I'm enjoying slaying orcs on my ROG ally. What's going on there, Colin?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that they should be doing this shit. People have noticed the dynamic pricing on PSN for months.
Yeah.
I don't know that Sony has acknowledged it. I don't even know. I don't want to speak out of school. I don't know what its legality even would be. Right. And maybe you also don't. I don't think it's making an assumption. It could be a bug. But I feel like people are noticing this thing, and I don't know how dynamic pricing. Are they going to offer the most hardcore gamers better prices? Because that would otherwise it seems like it. I don't know. I don't think you should be doing shit like that. I think things should just cost what they cost.
Yeah, I agree. Micah, War in the North. What is this?
Okay, yeah. I mean, this is a game where you and your party are on a mission from Aragorn himself, which is just fucking awesome. It was just, I don't know, it was like a Lord of the Rings fan. It was just like, oh my God, I'm talking to Aragorn. You know, you're just like a little starstruck. Your quest is taking place alongside the events of, Frodo taking the ring to Mordor. And so you'll be facing the Dark Army in battle. You can freely switch between your 3 party members. There's an elf, a dwarf, and a ranger. And each has their own skill tree. You'll be spending points, on their attributes like strength and health, as well as buying their skills and abilities. But yeah, each one has like their own fighting style. The elf has like a staff and can do some healing stuff and cast like an orb that protects you from ranged attacks. The ranger, he's fighting with swords. The dwarf has like a sick axe, although he can use other weapons too, which is great. I got a mace for him at one point, just fucking clacking people with it. The hype I felt just being in this world was just so fun. Like, there's like right off the top, should you buy this game if you're a Lord of the Rings fan? So far, yes. Will it fall off a cliff later and be terrible? I can't say yet.
Right.
But I was playing it. I was literally like 10 minutes in. I was like, dude, this is fucking awesome. Like, I was just having the time of my life fighting these guys, and I don't know. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I'm loving it. It's also like it's linear. I love a linear game.
Mhm.
Mama loves a linear game. We don't always need every game to be some wide open world adventure. Like I'm really enjoying just moving between strongholds, going from battle to battle, taking out enemies in like fairly small areas. And the levels, it's not to say every level's short. They can be like kind of long, like there's multiple sections to it. But I just have been really enjoying the linear aspect of it because I miss that in games. I miss having a more directed experience. That's one thing that I just feel like some of my favorite games. It's like, yeah, man, I of course I do like open world games as well. I do like the ability to say, what do I feel like doing right now? But it just does feel like I'm getting a truly curated experience when it's like, yeah, this is the story they wanted to tell and the sequence in which they wanted you to do things. And I like that.
Mhm.
And it just feels rare now to get linear games because so many people look down on that. But there's been some super cool moments using like siege weapons. There's constant loot to find. Like you're always switching to new weapons and armor when you find something stronger. Or there is like a breakability to things. I believe you can repair
Yeah, you
things if
can.
you return to Bree, which I haven't done yet. I've just been like go through each stage. So you want to don't sell everything. Like a pro tip, don't go selling everything because if your shit breaks, you're gonna want to go back to the weaker sword that you had before, right?
Yeah.
But I'm having a blast with it. How much more do you want me to say? I have so many
No,
notes.
just however much you want to say, however you want to talk about. It's totally fine.
All right. Well, I didn't want to hog it because we're both playing it, but
No, it's okay.
the item management is pretty straightforward. It's a little annoying, but here's the thing, like the menus are easy to navigate. It's just a little tedious switching between your actual players and going into each, here's their weapons and armor, here's their skills, and just moving between that stuff gets a little tedious because like you level up frequently. So you want to be spending those skill points and like unlocking new abilities, but I feel like I have to keep stopping and spending several minutes to like get everybody leveled up, everybody's new gear on. Okay,
Yeah.
let's go do another battle. Found more cool stuff, found another treasure chest. So it's fun to keep finding new things, slightly tedious to be dealing with that. The other thing that makes it tedious is that it's not a shared inventory or a shared wallet. So if the dwarf picks up an item that only the elf can use, you have to open his menu and give it to the elf.
Yeah.
It's not like a caravan system where I open the inventory and we can all just pull from it. That would be my number one thing that if they had changed for this remake would be a very nice quality of life improvement. Just to say, like, you open the inventory and it's just a big shared inventory and you take what you want out of it. Because the other thing is that when you go to buy something at the shop, you have to share. You either have to, I have the money, so I buy it and then I give each of them their healing potions because they each need to have it in their own inventory. Or I give you the money and then you buy it. But that's just a little annoying. Minor nitpick. But that's one thing that's a little annoying about it. And then I think the voice acting is good so far. It's
Got Nolan
decent.
North in there.
Is
as
he
the
in it?
ranger.
Who is
Yeah.
he?
Sounds like I think
Oh!
the ranger.
I would not have recognized that. I didn't Google any of the voices. I was just like, yeah, these are good. These are good. I haven't heard one yet where I'm like, oh, brother, this guy stinks. Like, there's been nothing like that so far. The music is great. The sound effects are great. There's a real nostalgia to some of the sound effects are like outdated.
Oh, yeah,
If you got to the suicide bomber goblins who are like they're on fire, but the fire sound is like very, very outdated, and I love it because it just adds to I'm playing an old game and I want to be playing it. I like that they kept that stuff in there because even though I haven't played this game before, it brings that nostalgia with the graphics, with the sound effects and everything. So I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm having fun just kind of geeking out and being in the world, and it was just like, oh my God, I'm talking to Aragorn. This is great.
Yeah.
This is great. I'm in Bree. Like,
Yeah.
just that aspect of it makes it very fun. And the combat has been fun, switching around freely between the characters. You can just revive them basically whenever. Doesn't seem to be a limit. Like they go down, you just revive them, they're fine. I don't know. I'm just having so much fun.
Yeah, it's kind of like a game of simple pleasures. I feel like, you're just beating dudes up pretty much the whole game. It's like, yeah, sure.
And
Cutting
the
off
performance has been fine on Switch 2. Pricing wise, it was $17.99 when I bought it. It was on sale. And the performance has been fine because there are battles where there's a ton of enemies all at once. Like there's battles where just like these guys are just like coming out of the woodwork basically. And to my eyes, it looks fine.
Yeah.
It hasn't had any obvious stuttering or lagging or anything. It's looked perfectly fine to me. I can't say about the frame rate, but it's just in terms of performance. I've never felt like I went to swing the axe and he like stuttered for a second or anything.
Right, yeah.
So it seems to be running just fine on Switch 2.
Yeah, and it's cool. You could play co-op. Like I said, I've been playing with Lockmort, so that's really fun. Like I've only been to the dwarf and he's managing the other two. So it's been nice and streamlined for me. I don't got to manage anyone else's loot or the skill trees and all that kind of stuff. So that's been good. I do like this is like one of the early examples I could recall of like a more gory Lord of the Rings game. Like, you're chopping off orc heads and shit and there's like blood flying everywhere. So I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. So that's really fun. And I do like going to Bree. That is very charming, of course, because I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan like you, Micah. So that's been really delightful. And it's cool seeing some characters that aren't in the movies, like Elrond's two twins that are in the they were in the books, but they're not in like the movies. So it's cool seeing them here and all that kind of stuff. So it's been fun. Yeah, it's like a very simplistic game. I don't want to oversell it, but you can have some good fun, especially if you got a couple of friends to play with. You can just chop orcs up together. And this looks like the first of more Lord of the Rings games to come, which is cool with me. I hope they do the Third Age. That was a sick game. I don't know if you guys ever played that, but it was a turn-based Lord of the Rings game.
Oh,
it was
dude,
like Final Fantasy X, but Lord of the Rings. It's pretty cool. So that'd be sick if they do that. Did you ever play the Shadow of like Mordor and War series, Micah?
Oh, so I dabbled in it a bit. Like my roommate was playing it, and at that time I was just like, what is this? And like the Nemesis system was cool and everything. I remember being like, oh my God, the dude remembers you. Like he remembers you. That's fucking like, that's really cool. I did not do a full playthrough myself though. I was just like backseat gaming with him.
Okay, cool. All right. But yeah, fair price for the game as well. So if you're curious about it, you want some simple fun, there you go. You can hop into that. All right, guys, it's time for Sort It Out. Anything bothering you guys this week where you're like, tisk tisk, gotta do something about that?
Things are bothering me all the time. Yeah, I was gonna say Sort It Out Saber CEO.
Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about.
For people that are unfamiliar with, Saber Interactive, obviously well-known gaming company. The CEO of the company, and I won't get too deep into the weeds here, like kind of just arbitrarily defamed this random writer that worked on one of their games. Maybe they have beef behind the scenes. I don't know. I'm sure it felt pretty good in the moment to get whatever off your chest that you were trying to get off your chest, but ended up ultimately having to, this person, I guess, apparently emailed this person that they talked shit about and figured it all out. People can go read about it. I don't want to get too deep into the weeds, but and dredge up all this drama. But it's just to say that I feel like people should say a lot less in positions of power. There's just no reason to fuck up like that. It's just so unnecessary. And I don't know where like the sense of like just basic PR and management of your ecosystem is when you're, the CEO of a massive publisher, thousands of people. I don't want to speak too crazy. I'm pretty sure Saber's huge. Or they were anyway. Let's see. Yeah, they have 2,671 employees.
Wow, it's a lot.
According to Wikipedia. It's a big company. And that was a few years ago, by the way. So they're probably bigger than that now. So it's just watch what you say. But if people want to read about it, it has to do with this game, Rideshare Simulator. That's the other funny thing, is that it's just this bullshit game. And it's basically about how this writer on the game claims that when she was at Saber, they replaced this writer named Stella Sacco, I guess. I don't know anything about this person, but with AI, and that was like her claim. And then the CEO like fought back and said like, no one knows who this person was. We hired much more talented people than this person. Blah 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 blah. It was just stupid. So stop speaking so much.
Micah, anything for you?
All I'm gonna say is, Kingdom Hearts fans,
Whoa.
you know what you've done.
Whoa.
You know what you've done. Now I gotta deal
And
with
I'm
this.
not
Now I gotta
sorry
deal with
about
this bullshit.
Yeah, you're gonna have to deal with it for a while.
I showed up to your stream at the exact wrong time because I'm like, what the hell is this? And it was Kingdom Hearts. I was like, oh no, it's real. It's actually happening. I was so hoping for it to say like 2029 or something at the end.
It's all right. I would have been excited about that too. I'm used to waiting 10 plus years for games I love.
We've restarted development. That's what I wanted to hear.
I've already been down that road many times. It's okay. All right. For me, I got a lot to be happy about this week, so not a whole lot to be sad about. But I'll just say, this user brought it up earlier, the dynamic pricing on PSN seems very silly to me and very dangerous.
Yeah, I think
you're doing.
I think it's perilous in terms of, I don't want to speak out of school. It's just like, it seems legally perilous. Like you're attracting eyeballs from regulators and governmental organizations. You don't really need to be doing this. And if things are, they're a business and they want to maximize the amount of money they make, but it comes off as desperate, and it makes you really wonder, like what's going on? Because I mean, it's all going to be wrapped in the PS6,
yes,
and everything that goes on with that. I've been pretty clear. I think depending on how this goes, Sony can be in a little bit of hurt.
Yeah, they could be flying too close to the sun.
They are they are incredibly dependent on this product. Can't be.
Don't botch it.
State that PlayStation is basically half the business at this point.
Yeah, don't botch it, guys. Got to be careful.
Yeah, we all remember when Wendy's tried to do dynamic pricing. We all remember the outrage.
Because Dave Thomas isn't there.
Yeah, Dave Thomas would never. Are you kidding me? He would never let that happen.
Oh, Dave Thomas would. He's rolling in his grave. The thing with dynamic pricing for me is just to say, it's like, as Colin said, it's like, are you presenting the lower price to the person who buys a lot of games? Or are you presenting the lower price to the person who doesn't buy as many and you're trying to entice them? And truly, though, isn't the way to reward the people who buy a lot of games, I don't know, some sort of rewards program, maybe stars or some sort of thing where you could earn points.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I just don't get why. You know, it's like, I don't get why that's not
PlayStation Stars was
the move.
Yeah,
it was. That's how you.
I got a lot of money.
That's how you reward your fans. You know, that's how you reward people instead of being like, no, you'll pay more for a game than that guy will. And it's like, but arbitrarily, instead of saying like, here's some reward points for a $5 off certificate.
It's clear that PlayStation Stars is really emblematic, actually, of what I've been kind of my thesis recently about Sony, which is it's just not about the core gamer anymore. Take it or leave it. Doesn't mean core gamers don't have a home there. I mean, I think people are misinterpreting what I'm saying with that. It's like, no, you can still be very happy as a core gamer there. Just your purchasing behavior is kind of irrelevant to them, you know? And I think Stars is kind of emblematic of that because it was really cool. But it was based on you interacting with the PSN often. Because I liked and they had kind of their own form of dynamic pricing with it, which is why it was a fun meta game where it's like, buy any of these 7 games this month.
Yeah.
And you'll get points. Do this thing in the game and you'll get points. Earn this trophy. I was like, this is cool as hell. But obviously it wasn't working, and it's probably just a little too cute by half, really. What they really should just do is be like X amount of money. You sign up, you reach a certain threshold of whatever on PlayStation, and then you start earning points at every purchase towards this thing. Like, whatever, man. Just make it simple.
Yeah. Very disappointing. Man, I miss Stars. I completely forgot about that. What a drag. Because I got like, a lot of PSN money from that.
Me too.
It was cool.
Yeah, and sometimes they would just offer a la carte games for the equivalent coin prices, so you weren't getting a discount or whatever, which I thought you were at first, which made it even cooler. And then people were like, no, actually, if you do the math, it's the same price. But I remember getting like Dredge and Dave the Diver and like just a la carte with my Stars points, plus probably a couple $100 in PlayStation money. So now I buy a lot of games. You buy a lot of games. It's not going to work like that for most people. I also would try to hit as many of the bounties as I could.
Yeah, sure.
But
Maximize that profit.
But it really just goes all into like it's PlayStation is like the everything box, and so that's just the way it is now.
Man, shout out to Dredge as well. What a game!
I never played it.
It rules.
I have it.
I
never got to it.
So cool. I love that game. All right, Hans Pubis Rutted said, sorted out Insomniac games.
Oh boy,
it's extremely rare that I agree with the internet when it comes to games, but with the recent footage of Wolverine, I fear they may have a point. How is it 2026 and we're still doing the big robot fight where you have to dodge the arms that attack, then when they slam down? Why are we still doing mandatory stealth sections in tall grass? And yes, gamers might be stupid, but so stupid that red ninjas must also have a red trail of smoke that you have to follow. These are all tired video game tropes and have been done to death. Wolverine isn't even out yet and looks dated as hell based on the gameplay. I doubt this will impact sales greatly, but the recent footage has made me less excited for Wolverine and the future of the Marvel games that Insomniac is stuck on for the next decade. What say you? Well, I haven't watched any of this footage.
Me neither.
I don't really care about watching it. Fighting a robot, fighting a robot, that seems fine to me. That's slamming his arms down, whatever.
I have seen that footage because people are saying it's like this Ben 10 game, and I'm like, come on, guys.
Do you guys know how many games do stuff like that?
Yeah, it's like the thing about gaming tropes, teach their own, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
I keep saying that I really feel like a lot of core gamers in the Gen X and millennial brackets are aging out.
Mm-hmm.
Aging is not even the right word. Let's have a different. They're timing out. Things are not to their liking anymore. And they're the ones that have kind of changed in a way. And I understand that we want new and novel things. And we want to be delighted at all times by everything. And I get it. But it's much like making a movie or writing a book, like a novel, or making a TV show. At the end of the day, there's only so many things you can do, so many ways you can mix up these different permutations of themes and activities and all of the rest. And I feel like criticism has gotten into over criticism and ridiculous criticism. It's a video game. And it's a third person action game. I'm not going to. We'll see what happens with Wolverine. I'm very excited and very interested to play it. Previews were very good. I'm not going hands on with it. I won't until it comes out, obviously. But I wouldn't bet against Insomniac, personally. And I think we often talk about Horizon and it being the disconnect between people and then the games and the quality of games. But actually, Spider-Man is becoming that game. Now that we know that it's almost sold 20 million copies. On PS5, making it a huge seller, 1 in 5, which is not Nintendo level attach rate, but really good for Sony. It's obviously a beloved game, but the way people talk about it is radically different than that, and so it all feeds back into my thesis of the disintegration of the core gamer at the center of the vision. They mistake that as them not being welcome or able to find anything anymore there. And I'm like, well, I have plenty of things to play, and I play games all day, every day of my life. So all night, every day of my life.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't want to just shit on people's. You can feel however you want about things, but I feel like the nitpicking, especially of an Insomniac game, especially of a Wolverine game, and maybe it does feel a little old because it was supposed to come out a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It wasn't. Remember, it was announced at the same time as Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Spider-Man 2 came out 3 years ago.
This game's gone through it. Yeah, and I'm not saying it's not okay not to be excited about some of these ideas or whatever. If you see Logan crawling through tall grass and you're like, okay.
I call that Sony grass. I literally coined the term Sony grass.
Yeah. They love that.
They do. And they're obviously, there's some level of sharing tech and there's some level of this and that and your design chops and all the rest. I get that. I get it. I just feel I wonder if people like games anymore. A lot of the criticisms come off you just don't like games.
No, there's noticing that, for example, in every JRPG, and the boss fight has 3 phases, right? Yeah. And you expect it, and you can have a chuckle at it, or if you're annoyed with the boss fight, you can have an eye roll at it. but it's not something I'd be like, I can't believe they're still doing 3-phase boss fights. I mean, it's just a classic move. And it's just one of those, and I like the 3-phase boss fight because it usually is like we're ramping up intensity. You start out fighting a mouse and then it turns into God. Like, that's always fun.
Mhm.
So it's just one of those things of like, yeah, if you find yourself being really turned off by like some classic gameplay elements, it is like, I don't know, man, maybe just take a little break. Just because for me, I'm like, 3-stage boss fight, they got me again, you know? I'm still in that mode of like, yeah, it's still cheeky.
Yeah. I guess just with me with Wolverine, I expected them to follow kind of like a similar formula like you would see in a Spider-Man game. So I'm like, it's just business as
It's
usual.
a comic book character. Makes sense.
I guess, like, I don't know. I haven't played it. I'll play the game. I'm not like super excited about it, but I'll play it and I hope I enjoy it because I do like Wolverine. But yeah, I don't know.
I think it's going to do very well.
Social media is a weird thing. People just complain about everything or get really hyped about everything. There's like no in between, it seems like.
Oh yeah, well fuck you, bub. That's what Wolverine's gonna say.
Oh man.
Yeah, I see all people complain. They're like, because he like flips someone off like a claw, I guess, in the new one. And people are like, Logan wouldn't do that. Then someone's like, are you serious? They showed like 5 different examples of him doing that same exact thing in different Wolverine things. So it's like, all right, guys, what are we doing here?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm intrigued by Wolverine just to see what it is. And then I think it's going to be a huge game. So I think
it'll do probably pretty well. Pretty well.
I'll be very intrigued. It comes out mid-September. Football starts soon, and that's like kind of the PlayStation will start rolling out ads, I'm sure. And I'm very intrigued about GTA in that regard as well.
Oh, of course, yeah. Okay, Argus Forever wrote and said, hello, Brad and the Moriartys. My sorted out is to games that don't track area completion. I'm at the very end of Expedition 33 right now, clearing up side bosses and optional content, and I'm dealing with an issue. I'm looking at the map full of location icons, trying to remember which places I've already completely cleared, which ones I briefly visited, and which ones might still have a boss item or other side content waiting for me. So now I'm spending extra time revisiting locations just to figure out whether there's actually anything left to do there. This feels like such an easy problem to solve. Give me a little green check mark once I've completed the main purpose of an area, or let me open a map showing something like 3 out of 4 bosses defeated, 8 out of 10 items collected, etc. You don't have to tell me exactly where everything is. Just let me know whether I've actually done with the place, especially in a big RPG with dozens of locations and tens of hours of playtime. In this day and age, some kind of basic completion tracker feels like a completely reasonable quality of life feature in any video game. Sort it out. Cheers and thank you for all you do. Colin, this seems to speak to your heart.
I mean, that's what I was saying about Beasts of Reincarnation. Like, yeah, these are just basic things. You have to do shit like this.
Yeah.
And the Expedition 33 people seem a little annoying about certain. I don't know how they've updated the game since it came out. I liked it. I beat it. But I remember there being like, there's no map or something or no HUD. Like, I remember there being weird things where it's like, what am I doing? Like, why don't you just add
map?
Like, yeah, local maps and stuff. And they're like, well, we don't really. It's like, put a fucking map in the game, dude. Like, I don't want to run around like an asshole.
Especially because I don't think the design of like a lot of those areas was like really good enough where I could constantly tell where I am based off like good landmarks and stuff like that and design.
Right.
I was like, I need a map here.
That's what I remember. So, and I remember them being, I don't know if they fixed it since, but I remember them being stubborn about that. And so I wouldn't be surprised if they were stubborn about this shit too. And it's like, why? Like, this is so I'm sorry. Like, it is easy to fix it. Like, you are literally just counting the things, like the triggers in the game.
Yeah.
And putting them in a cogent list for players. It would take one of your engineers a day to figure that out.
They could do it. We'll see.
In fact, the game probably does it already in the back end for the trophy counting and all the rest. It probably already does it. That's the thing. It's like, it already is doing it. Just make it transparent. I hate shit like that, dude. I know I go on and on about that, but I hate when games miss the little things. I hate it.
Sure. No, they could have death by 1,000 cuts, always.
And I was actually complimenting Beast of Reincarnation on social like last week, where they just do the little thing where they put a check mark next to a box where like where the person has nothing left to say. And I'm like, now you see that in Tales, Dragon Quest does that a little bit, but
Elliot did that. Yeah.
That's what Micah said. Elliot did that. And it's like, yes. Like it's so easy. Don't you get how easy that is to do? Why? It's a video game.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Small things add up. All right, guys, keep it up. Stuff we're pleased with. Colin, are you pleased with anything this week?
I am. Keep it up, me.
Okay. Very humble. I like it.
In this world where people are bitching and whining about everything all the time, and I like to bitch and whine, like with anyone. That's fun.
Yeah, we just talked about Star Wars for like 20 minutes.
Right. Got to commiserate sometimes. At other times, you got to take action. And I must say that I feel like I've reflected in the last few days, and I'm like, yeah, I'm proud of myself this year for getting a little bit more out of my comfort zone and taking action on certain topics that I think have animated me and animated our space. And I'm really only kidding about patting myself on the back. I want to use it as a segue to encourage other people. You know, I'm meeting with my local congressman's team this week, right? And then hopefully it'll build into something greater. But any of you can do that. And if you have a problem with the way the companies that you're dealing with are treating you, if you have a problem with the realities of the market, and you feel like you're being treated unfairly, you feel like these EULAs and these user agreements and these licensing agreements are ridiculous, there's nothing stopping you from doing exactly what I'm doing and trying to just get in someone's ear and trying to all it's going to take, and I say all in quotes, is the right congressional aide that likes games or is into games, that works for a person who might see it as an advantage for them politically to be on this train. And that is the art of politics. It's you help me and I help you. Mm-hmm. I look good. They're not doing it out of the guy. I mean, I wish that it was the case. These people are not acting in altruistic ways. They're politicians. So you have to find them where they are. And I hope people continue to press the issue, because all I did was write a letter, well-written letter with a lot of information. And I sat back and waited 3 weeks, and I heard from them, and they wanted to speak to me. This could be any of us in any of these congressional districts. This could be you in Europe, in the UK, in Australia, New Zealand, etc. And I know I have not spoken about it much, and I won't, but like I'm continuing my conversations with Sony on that end too, and trying to continue to take action where I can to encourage like a positive outcome. And so I don't think I'll always be activist, Colin. It's taking up a lot of my time and energy to deal with this shit, but I'm proud that I'm doing it, and I want to encourage other people to try to do what they can as well on their fronts. If you really care about things, because the bitching, and like, as you can see I really think the disc situation probably was a foregone conclusion, probably still is a foregone conclusion, but there are different realities where that resistance could have been handled differently and might have been leveraged in more useful ways. Instead, that movement seems to have just really unlikable, ineffective leadership, vocal leadership. And that's not something you elect. It's just something that bubbles to the surface, and that's too bad. So I hope people find alternative ways to make their voices heard, to kind of like reset the table. And I'll do that through the guise of me congratulating myself.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Colin. Thank you for saving video games.
Thank you. You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
Need it. No, but all seriously, like it's cool, like especially with you, who has like a platform and more leverage, I would say, than most people. Doing something with it is cool.
Yeah, I've said this. I said this to Sony. I said this to the congressman's office. I said this on the shows. Me ignoring the things that people were telling me until it happened to me was bad character. And the next biggest character move I can make is to do something about it.
Right.
That's it. Right. Like it's really that, it's that simple. I forgive myself in a way. As I've said, people say shit to me all the time. Like, people are constantly telling me things are wrong. This thing's fucked up. This thing's happening. This happened to me. But like, it's a lot. It's a lot to sift through and manage. But I should have been more cognizant of the trends through what people were telling me and the things that people were telling me and the warnings that people were posting to me. And I wasn't. And really, the community should be grateful, because I could have nipped that in the bud by paying more attention to it for myself, and then I would have been probably never done anything. But because it happened to me, and then it became a public thing, and me understanding my connections to Sony is what's helped save me. It's like, well, we got to do something about it. So for me, it's personal in that regard, because I know that people tried to warn me.
Right. Okay. Micah, what about you?
Yeah, well, I kind of general keep it up to just these devs, these random old games getting ports this week. Both, we'll talk about the other one later, but both of these games I bought on a whim, feeling a little unsure based on like some of the reviews I saw, but saying I'm going to try this because it looks cool. And I have loved both of these games. I have had so much fun. So just keep it up to these game devs in general who are porting, remastering games that maybe people weren't clamoring for. Maybe it's not the game that everyone was asking for, but that deserves to be on current hardware and accessible to new audiences and people who already love it. Because it also too just reminded me, like, when I feel that I'm losing my enthusiasm for gaming at times, I just need to go back to some of these comfort food genres. Like, I love strategy games. They are my favorite. Every time I play one, I'm like, this is the best thing ever. And while obviously it's good for my job and also just as a person to try new things, I need to remember, like, bitch, just go back to strategy games when you're feeling like, man, I don't want to play anything right now.
Yeah.
It's like strategy games. They're always here for me. We'll talk about that later, but like, they're always here for me. I love moving my little dudes on maps. And it just like really has, it always reignites my love for gaming when I just return to a genre like that I'm just like, damn, this is good. This is
more
really
men.
fucking good. Dude, I need more men. I've been shouting that like all weekend. So, but just thanks for these games to be brought forward, because for me on, both of these titles, I had not played them before. So while some people were amped because, oh my God, this is a childhood favorite that I could play again, for me, it was, oh, sweet. Never played this before. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Love it to see it. More, please.
Yes. More, please. All right. This is my week. This is the summer of Brad right now.
I'm just going to shut off my headphones right now.
Yeah, just walk away. It's totally fine. Both of you walk away. It's fine. Yesterday, or this weekend, has been D23, which is Disney's, like, I think it's every biannual celebration, whatever. They lay out all the plans that Disney's doing. This includes video games often. And Kingdom Hearts 4 was prominently featured here, especially at a panel, which, by the way, exceeded my expectations because right off the bat, Tetsuya Nomura was there, which is very rare for him to make an appearance. Colin, you may remember, he didn't really show up anything in person with any of the Final Fantasy remake stuff. He's been very much like behind the scenes.
Yeah, he knew better, I think.
On camera.
I have a lot more respect for him now than I did, 6 or 7 years ago. So, yeah. But that's me.
Now
that's
everyone's like, oh shit. Now everyone's starting to see what I've been seeing.
Yeah, like I just associated him too much with that one thing, and so I didn't think he had it, to be honest.
Yeah,
I didn't know his game. I didn't understand his game. He's
that guy, dude.
He is that guy. He is that guy.
He is that guy, dude.
Yeah.
But he showed up here, and they showed an extended trailer that was like 3 minutes of Kingdom Hearts 4. We got hard confirmation of the first world confirmed, which is Coco, which is a great world. I really like it. It makes sense in the story also with Kingdom Hearts. I won't spoil it for anyone who doesn't know yet, but it looks wonderful. Getting to play as Donald and Goofy for the first time ever in 4. Sign me the fuck up. I'm amped about that.
Yeah.
That's going to be sick.
Instead of them using all my items.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to heal yourself now.
Hogging all the items.
Just stop.
Stop using my elixirs, dude.
You have plenty of health. Stop healing so often.
Yeah.
Kill those motherfuckers.
Got new Mickey segments that are cool. Look like Paper Mickey, pretty much. Like some Paper Mario segments. Looked really fun as well. Getting to see Riku there as well, and some other characters. That Versus 13 energy coming back into here.
Great.
So looks wonderful. And they confirmed 3 times, not once, not twice, 3 times. And they said 100% this is coming out in 2027.
I was very surprised by that. That's cool, though.
So,
the publishers are slowly learning that they should not say anything until they're ready to go.
So that means next year I get Final Fantasy 14 Evercold in January, which I'm very excited about, the new expansion.
Evercold? That's what it's called?
Yes.
Evercold? I kind of like that. Yeah.
Then I get and me and Colin both get Final Fantasy VII Revelations.
Oh yeah.
Sometime in spring, which is gonna slap so hard.
Oh my god, I can't wait.
Yes. Then
Help me.
later in the year, I get Kingdom Hearts 4. So it's the summer of Brad right now, and next year's gonna be the year of Brad.
The year of Nomura.
Living it up. Gonna live it up, big time, dude. So good job, Square Enix. I'm very critical of you because I love you.
Yeah.
But you did good here. So I'm very happy about that.
It's
Shout
vital that this game does well, so I'm rooting for them.
It is.
So that's fine with me.
Disney said Kingdom Hearts is $1 billion franchise, by the way.
I'd believe it. They've released a lot of games. I mean,
Yes.
when you think about it, it's not that impressive.
Come
like
on.
that.
Come on.
Well, I mean, think about it.
I know.
You know,
29. I think they said the series has sold 29 million.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. But yeah, there's like a dozen games now or something like that. So it's not.
Now there is, yeah. A lot of them are spin-offs though, so I'll give them that, like smaller scale kind of things like that. Also, an anime was announced as well. It's not a retelling; it's like a brand new story
Good.
that's tying into there.
Oh,
So that that gets me hyped, big time, right there as well. And I got to give them a shout out at the little conference they did yesterday. They had, of course, a lot of the staff who worked on Kingdom Hearts, including the co-director, all there. But they also had some of the voice actors. We had Haley Joel Osment, who is Sora's voice actor, and David Gallagher, who is Riku's. And they actually did a scene from Kingdom Hearts 2 together. And they had never done something together like this ever. No voice ever in the same room, ever. So it was the first time for them ever to do that. And it's a very important part of Kingdom Hearts 2. So it was really cool for me to see that.
Get Haley Joel Osment in the fucking mocap suit and get him out there.
Throw him in there. Yeah, he's out of jail or whatever because he got
he went to jail. That's what I remember.
Yeah.
I
think he said some like anti-Semitic stuff or something. Yeah, he was popping off or something, dude. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, good. Disney, obviously, that's strange that they don't care anymore about that stuff. They threw Gina Carano out of a fucking moving train.
Yeah, you can't ditch Sora.
No, of course. But it's funny, like there is something appealing about the game to me. I'm not going to get to it because there's no way I'm going to play all these Kingdom Hearts games. But I do respect it a lot. I do respect it a lot more after playing it, the first one, all the way through.
Yeah,
it's not even. It's cool. Like I get why. Like I said, I was like, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. That to me is a compliment. I thought it was going to be way worse than it was.
And it just gets better. It just gets better.
I believe you, but I'm not gonna. Maybe one day, but there's just so that dude. The world is my oyster. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying, whenever you get to 2 sometime in the future, it's gonna be like that Shaq meme of him trying the chicken wing with the hot sauce on it. That's gonna be you. That's gonna be you.
But I'm rooting for Square Enix. I need them to do well. Dragon Quest is obviously all fucked up, and I don't know what their situation is. I worry about them sometimes. So
yeah. But yeah, great stuff next year from them. Very excited about that. Speaking of good future thing, possibly, Colin, Yoshi P, of course, the director of Final Fantasy 14, producer on 16. He's like one of their golden boys. He was hyping up Hamaguchi, who is the director of Revelations and was Rebirth, as kind of like the next star at that company. So he might do 17 or 18, whatever it's going to be.
Oh, hell yeah.
So very exciting.
I can't wait for Final Fantasy 16. You either get it or you don't.
You get it or you don't.
What do you want me to tell you? What do you want me to tell you? There's nothing else to say about it. You either get it or you don't. I don't know what you want me to tell you.
Also, Kingdom Hearts Collection coming to PS5, Xbox, of course. It's on PC.
Pissed me off because I bought I bought the shitty one.
Well, you get it. I think if you get the PS5 version, it's cheaper. You can do like the upgrade.
Oh, okay, cool. Because that pissed me off. Because I was like, God damn it, I just bought it, and I bought it at full price because I needed it for the stream. And I was like, it's fucking $60 or whatever. Yeah. By the way, Micah said hot dog earlier, and I just want you to know something that I really didn't like that she was lying to you about Hot Dog Johnny's.
Hot Dog Johnny. She did it again. She brought up again.
It's like, I knew this was going on, and I was like, I'm going to tell Brad, like, I can't do this. And she she told me not to.
From day one, Colin had a problem because I was like, dude, I told Brad about this fake hot dog place. And Colin's like, why are you doing that to Brad? Like, legitimately, he's like, why are you doing that to Brad? And I'm like, oh my God, I mean, it's just a hot dog place. And then I was kind of going to let it go. And then at a different time, Brad was like, oh yeah, what was that place you mentioned?
Yeah, I looked it up.
And I was like, Hot Dog Johnny's in Anaheim.
I was like, oh, it's in New Jersey, so this isn't happening.
Funny times for
Well,
all.
I mean, I just made it up completely.
Yeah.
Because when we were doing that stream, and I was like, "Yeah, I got a hot dog Johnny's," and you, the best part, because you were like, "I'm trying to click it, but it says I have to have the Yelp app to look at it. I'll look at that
Yeah.
later." And I was just
Yeah.
like,
So unnecessary.
It's because I didn't go to Cheesecake Factory enough for her, and I haven't gone to Cracker Barrel, so she
"You
resents
gotta
me.
get to the Barrel, dog. It's my favorite
The
restaurant."
Barrel's like an hour and a half.
Oh, but you'd go to Hot Dog Johnny's.
Hot Dog Johnny's would be like 20-something minutes. It's a little more acceptable.
Should it exist? That's where it would.
Should
have
it
been.
exist? It doesn't here.
But
It's in New Jersey.
You're near Portillo's, aren't you?
Yes.
And that's like the only
I could go
Portillo's anywhere outside of like the Midwest, as I understand.
I could go there. Yeah, that's
that place is dope.
Mm-hmm.
I love
make
that
that
place, man. I love that.
I'd have to do
I do honestly think Portillo's is like, damn, that place is fucking dope. Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
The hype. It's good.
Yeah, and when I'd go to Anaheim, that's when I would, for whatever, that's why I would go there. Yeah.
Go to Portillo's. Yeah. Big Dub Stupid Idiot wrote in and said, "Hey, Sora, Donald, and Goofy. Micah, you're Goofy.
Oh.
Obviously.
Oh, that doesn't make sense. You're the tallest.
Colin's Donald. I'm
Cool.
Sora. Keep it up, Square Enix, for making Coco the first world in Kingdom Hearts 4. Makes perfect sense for Sora to start his new journey. Colin, how excited are you for Kingdom Hearts 4? Are you going to join your sons, Dustin and Brad, for the midnight release in cosplay? Or perhaps do an episode of Sacred Symbols Plus for every episode of the anime? I've been having these weird thoughts lately. Like, is this for real? Or is it like this for real or not kind of day? Yeah, Colin's going to cosplay with me and Dustin. It's going to be very exciting.
I'm cosplaying my coffin.
Yeah.
No, I'm excited. I'm happy for you. I have no problem with it, but not everything's for me.
He's like a proud papa. You know, he's seen his two sons excited about it. It's good.
It's not even the characters. Like the whole Disney connection turns me off more because I just don't like Disney anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I can't not interact with them completely, obviously. I mean, we're just talking about Wolverine, but I want to minimize my interaction with them. I think they're a weird fucking company, but they have enough where you can't, I'm not going to like get drastic with it, but I'm not going to make any exceptions for Kingdom Hearts 4. And by the way, I am so behind on Kingdom Hearts that I would never jump into 4 or be interested in it otherwise. So it's literally just not for me.
So
Colin, why do you want to ruin my marriage? Like, why are you trying to do this to me? Because he can't play a game just once. He's got to play it through like twice to really get it. And so it's like, I can't, you can't do this to me. I work 40 hours a week.
I work 40 hours a week. That was our neighbor.
We're allowed to not be into Kingdom Hearts. It's fine.
He's
already in though. So
wait,
you just got to go deeper into the pool. You're already in.
Oh yeah.
You're like in the kiddie zone right now. Your ankles, the water's at your ankles right now.
We
splashing.
We had these neighbors. They actually moved, but they were fighting outside once, and Micah heard them, but I didn't hear them. But part of the wife was like saying something, and then the guy was like, "You can't do this to me. I work 40 hours a week." So we say that to each other like randomly.
We've been saying that for years now.
You can't do that.
Funny.
Just like the most minor inconvenience.
Yes. I'm kind of funny, wrote in and said, "This is for Brad and the lovely couple. Keep it up, Insomniac. The previews for Wolverine are looking great. The combat is brutal, of course, and the character performances are looking awesome. The story is being co-written by narrative director Walt Williams, known for Spec Ops: The Line, and the structure of the game is exactly what we need, a AAA linear story-based action game. One IGN previewer had concerns about how the combat would evolve throughout the campaign, since Wolverine is much more limited compared to Spider-Man concerning movement and gadgets. But there is a skill tree, so hopefully Insomniac is holding back on the good shit. P.S. Little Leon needs a friend."
That chess game, I'll tell you.
That chess game.
It interrupted everything.
Well, there you go. We had the negative and the positive for Wolverine. So
I think Wolverine's gonna be just fine, but we'll see.
It'll be fine. But a shout out to Spec Ops: The Line though, because that's an incredible game. One of my all-time favorites. Oh my god!
I haven't played it, but the game has been spoiled from me.
You
beyond belief. Yeah.
No, dude, it doesn't matter if it's spoiled. The gunplay, dude. some of my all-time like favorite moments in a shooter is Spec Ops: The Line. You got like the story is good, don't get me wrong, but like the actual gameplay itself is so fucking good, Brad. You gotta, you know what, Brad? Instead of playing Kingdom Hearts for the 15th time, why don't you play Spec Ops? It takes like 10 hours. You know, why don't you play that?
Yeah, Spec Ops
instead of playing Dark Souls for the 35th time.
Spec Ops is an excellent. Spec Ops is excellent.
It's amazing.
I can't even.
I'm not
it's not on
speaking
Steam.
It's they took it down. I think.
PlayStation in that goddamn house, don't you?
It's only on.
I'd
PS3.
have to track down a PS3 copy. I think
I have it on PS3, but it's going to be at Dagan's.
You know what, Brad? This is why we never got that DSi out of the attic for you. Because you misbehaved.
I want that DSi.
You misbehaved.
You know what? I'll tell you what. So I'm on the lookout for a couple of PS3 games, which is God of War Ascension, because I never finished it because the game broke or glitched out on me, so I couldn't complete it.
Oh, interesting.
Oof.
Folklore, which is very expensive now, which really annoys me.
Yeah, that's a rare
one. I always
want
to play it.
Yeah.
And we could add Spec Ops: The Line to the list.
Add it to the list.
I feel like I could find that game probably pretty easily and probably reasonably priced.
I think so. I mean, I bought it for $360, several years ago.
Yeah.
But it was like I bought it used at GameStop. It was cheap.
Yeah,
It was
I'm sure
a
I could get it for
bargain
like 15 or $10. I feel like
Spec Ops is a deeply subversive shooter. There's really nothing like it. It's in my opinion like it's an extraordinary game. Like
It's so good. It's so good. I
really
even played it on the hardest difficulty because I liked it so much. You guys know I don't normally do stuff like that.
That's true. Yeah.
I'm surprised by. I would like to know more about why they've not re-released it, because it is a cult classic. Like they know. I've talked to people there where they're like, we know. I've said before. I've said it years ago that like they. I mean, this was in the mid 2000 teens, but that I was told the game just had a low lying level of sales, like it just sold. You know. And there's something really disturbing about it. Like, it's people always think about the white phosphorus and all like the famous thing, like the famous thing people talk about with the game, but like, it's the fact that you're fighting Americans that makes it like actual American soldiers. The entire, like, I love it, man. And they're like, you can understand they're not speaking Arabic or something, Yeah. And about like these turncoats, like these turncoat military guys, and it's alternate history too, like or future history where it's like it takes place in like this fucked up. I think it's Dubai, right? It's all. It's like a fucked up Dubai that's been like abandoned, basically. I don't recommend you very much, Brad, but I would highly recommend that game.
Okay,
that's a classic.
Yeah, I don't get Colin recommendations very much.
That's a classic. Well, you've played almost every. I mean, you play even more games than I do. So. But that's
keep an eye out.
Yeah, keep an eye out for it. I mean, see what you think. Maybe I'm remembering it too fondly.
No,
I
doubt it.
No.
A lot of people talk
We're
about
remembering it perfectly, Brad. Here's the thing, Brad. Here's what I'm gonna do. If you play the game, I will get Colin in that attic, and he's gonna find that DSi.
I do. I have the matte black DSi. I don't know that it's necessarily up there. I think it is. If it's not, it's at Dagan's.
Okay.
Because as I've explained before, but if you don't know, Brad, my gaming collection, like I had I moved to California in 2007. So like there's a gaming collection that begins at that point. And that's like a bunch of Wii stuff, PSP, DS, PS3, PS4, stuff like that. And there's hundreds and hundreds of games. And I sent those all to Dagan. But then there's a collection of stuff that was at my mom's beach house. That's all my childhood stuff and everything through college. So everything from NES through, PS2 and whatever. And in 2011, our beach house got fucked up by a storm.
Hurricane.
And Dagan took everything there back to his house. And we think it all survived, but we really don't know. Okay. So things could be in there too. But DSi is 2010, right? Spring 2010. So I think that would be in the newer stuff. And so there's a decent chance that it's with me somewhere. I just have to find it.
Yeah, if Dagan has it, it's over.
Well, yeah, if Dagan has it, you actually probably have no chance of ever seeing it again.
No, yeah. I mean, I couldn't get a hold of Dagan even if I tried. It's just the way it is.
Neither can my parents.
Yeah, he's an elusive man.
He is the elusive man, just like in Mass Effect.
I think I DM'd him once on Twitter, or not Twitter, Instagram or something. And I think he got back to me like 2 months later or something like that.
Yeah, he was probably on the train. Like Dagan, he's my brother. I mean, I love him deeply. I would do anything for Dagan. And we have a great rapport, great relationship. I love podcasting with him. I love that everyone loves him in the audience. He is notoriously impossible to get in touch with. It's been this way my whole life. Yeah.
That's like my
And-
brother. Same kind of thing.
And it like to the point like where I don't think my parents even bother really very much anymore. Because they're like, well, he doesn't. It kind of bums me out because I think it hurts their feelings a little bit. Where it's like he doesn't return my calls, he doesn't do it. Like, and I just always make fun of him because I'm like, dude, no matter what I do, you're always going to be worse. And like I can always, it's like, oh, I'm sorry I didn't get back to you for a few days. Dagan hasn't called you in 6 months. That's all I have to say.
That's true.
My sisters are up, my parents' ass more.
Of course,
that makes sense. But whatever.
He's a dad, so he's going to deal with it too. See how he likes it.
Yeah, he's got a very close relationship with both of his kids. My niece, his daughter, his oldest, Lilia, just went back to Miami for her sophomore year, and they go and visit her like multiple times a semester, and I'm like, leave her alone. But I don't know if they have like, I don't know if they're tight like that. Like if I was her age, I'd be like, please. My mom lived in Boston when I went to Northeastern, and I would go a month without seeing her,
Yeah.
which I shouldn't have done, but I did.
Boys are generally different than girls, how they handle that. So I don't know.
No, who needs parents really? Fuck 'em.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Jeez.
I moved out. I live on my own. You can disappear. I'm kidding a little bit, but it's like, I don't know. I'm an adult.
You're an adult.
I feel
Who needs them?
Yeah, I feel for I don't know. My dad especially, like I'm like, wow, my dad was so right about everything. It's incredible. Like I've always loved and respected my dad and had a good relationship with him, but the older I get, the more I'm like, huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. All right. Let's get a game recommendation from the audience for the audience. This is from Misanthropic Altruist. Excellent lineup today. I'd like to make a recommendation to the lovely Moriarty couple and their third wheel, the titillating keystone of LSM, Mr. Bradley Ellis.
Titillating. That's a good. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't trying to correct you. I was just like titillating keystone is.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah. The game is titled Ooh, I guess is how you'd say it. Or O.
Yeah, O with like the what do they call that? Umlaut,
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Umlaut. I'm not sure,
yeah, something like that with the 2 dots.
Yes. You control a caterpillar. Umlaut?
Hanson?
You control a caterpillar who has been eaten by an enormous bird and must find his way out of the gargantuan corvid's innards using only left, right, up, and down controls, one button to deploy peach bombs, and another button to explode them. The design is clean, lean, cute, and very appealing. The game always keeps you invested by encouraging you to constantly think your way through traversing areas using these very basic controls. The game currently has over 2K overwhelming positive reviews on Steam and 74 5-star reviews on PSN for good reason. It's one of my favorites of 2026. I'd like to see it get more deserved exposure and hope more people play it. It's available on all platforms and is currently on sale. Well, there you go. I've never heard of this.
Yeah,
Sounds kinda cool,
it's
though.
too bad, man. Like, let me see. It's too bad. Like that. It's just there's so much shit coming out,
There's a
and
lot.
nothing can really get any attention.
Not for long. You get like a day or two.
It's a bummer. Yeah, like it's a bummer. Like nothing sticks around. Nothing is permanent anymore. There's just I don't know what's gonna fix it. But no, I mean it's like how can you fix it? You can't stop people from putting their games out, and time is what it is. People are just going to cannibalize each other forever. Sounds like a cool idea, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's being called a Metroidvania on Google.
Metroidvania.
Because of the puzzle element. So there's a new term for you boys.
You know what's funny is I believe they described, or Nintendo, they described Metroid Colin as search action. And
search action.
That term just kind of disappeared.
Search action. I kind of like that. I mean, I kind of get search action. Yeah, I like that. Well, have you seen this other? We were talking about this on Sacred the other day about one of these. I don't know which one. Oh, Phantom Blade, where you're starting to see this this terminology, wuxia action.
Yes, I've heard that. Mm-hmm.
WUXIA. Which is really just Chinese.
Yeah, it's like Chinese, like martial arts, like whatever that era would be. I'm not sure, but you see it.
I don't know shit. I don't know shit about China. Like I really don't. Like I mean, I know everything from like maybe the turn of the 20th century, I understand things a lot better. And then obviously the world wars and stuff. And then I kind of, and communist China, of course, I understand much better. But like China, like historical China, Romance of the Three Kingdoms style, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck is going on, man. No, I have no clue. None. None.
All right. Next game, pretty quickly, but revisit it. I know Micah's upset about it, but Dark Souls Remastered. I love Dark Souls. It's
what are you playing on?
Classic for me. PS4. The PS4 version.
Interesting. That's 60 frames though, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
There is no PS5 version or anything like that at this game.
Oh, I thought you might have played it on PC. That's why I asked.
No. I already had it. So, I mean, I own this game on... I have the physical copy on 3 platforms. I remembered, so I can play it on whatever. But I've thought, why not get some trophies? Why not? I mean, I already have the platinum for the PS3 version, so why not get a few more? We'll do it again.
It's always a fair question to ask oneself.
Yeah. But let me read this from Perfectly Straight Rainbow first. It's a funny name. Ayo, Brad. I'm stoked to see you play Dark Souls, as I am also playing it currently. At the same time, I'm replaying Death Stranding 1 and can't help but wonder, what would Dark Souls look like remade in the Decim engine? I think it could work. Dark Souls is the best in the series and deserves a proper remake, not just a remaster. What say you, tall man? And what would you want to include if they ever came to fruition? The thing about a remake is it doesn't seem like From Software is super into doing that kind of stuff. Colin, you probably have picked this up with Bloodborne and things like that. They are seemingly the ones holding that up.
Yeah, they're annoying as fuck with that. It's
so
hurting
Sony. They don't really seem... Yeah. They don't seem to care about remaking their games really necessary. Remasters, they'll do, but remakes, they don't really seem to do them that much. So I don't expect them to. Remake the Decim engine sounds cool. I don't know, but you just gotta get the feel right and all that kind of stuff. I mean, Bluepoint did a great job with Demon Souls remake, but they're dead. So that's out. I don't know who would do it. So I'm not really sure, because From Software certainly I don't think would do it themselves. They're always doing something new.
Yeah. I they have a lot of power. And I also think like Sony owns a piece of Kadokawa that owns From Software.
They own like quite a bit, actually, when I think about it. Is it like 30%? Is it something like that?
Yeah, something like that. Because I think there might even be like a different consortium that owns From Software that Kadokawa is part of. So Sony owns a piece of Kadokawa, then owns a piece of From, separately, and then through Kadokawa. Yeah. I think that's how it goes. Because I think it's like 70% is owned by Kadokawa. So the other 30%, something like that. Okay.
Sony owns about 10%.
Yeah.
According to just Google AI really quick.
That sounds about right. So that gets them a seat at the table and stuff.
Apparently they're the largest share. Oh, that was 2 years ago. They were the largest shareholder at the time. So yeah, they have some influence on the company.
I say that only because like it doesn't seem to matter, and I've always been fascinated by these corporate things at Sony and other places too. I've brought up many times. Sony through I think the music subsidiary owns Aniplex, which publishes games, and then they don't put them on PlayStation, and it's like I don't even understand how that's possible. Like I don't even. That to me seems like unthinkable and weird. It reminds me back like 15, 20 years ago when Sony was starting to talk about the One Sony initiative, because they realized like all the parts of their company were competing with each other. That was a major reason why, and that's very Japanese, but that's a major reason why they moved PlayStation to California. Not only was this the biggest market, but I think it kind of got them out of that culture. But now things are a little bit different. But I just think about them getting held up with Bloodborne, and it feels personal, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
and
it does.
I don't know why, but it just does, because I don't know why you would do that otherwise.
There's some sort of rift between them. I don't know what it is, but there is something there.
It's just weird, because you would think that the rift would be because of Demon Souls. Yeah. But then Bloodborne is after Demon Souls. And for people that don't know, Sony kind of botched Demon Souls. Like they didn't even publish it in the West. They didn't, Shuhei famously calls it
Atlas did.
Right, exactly. And I think Shuhei's talked about how like he feels like it's one of his great misses. He just didn't And I play it and I'm like, I agree with you. I wouldn't have gotten this either, to be honest with you.
Everyone I've talked to who played it, like that was in the industry at the time, no one saw anything in it really. So he was probably on the same page as a lot of other people.
Yeah, so I think like you would think it would have gotten personal at that point, but I think maybe if it's personal over those decisions and the kind of the back and forth, Dark Souls, Bandai Namco, they needed time to kind of regroup. Like FromSoft was not what they are now.
Right.
then at all. They've been ever present. I mean, pretty sure Kingsfield is a PS1 launch game in Japan, right?
Yeah, it was.
So they've been there since the very beginning. You just think that the relationship would be a little bit better,
Stronger.
where it's like, can you not hold this hostage? And frankly, a little bit more of a ballsy approach with Bloodborne could have kept Bluepoint alive, since that was clearly the game that they should have been making the entire time. So
Yeah, well, it's a damn shame. And it's very weird because they, you're saying they do own some of Kadokawa, and the Duskbloods is Switch 2 exclusive. So
yeah,
didn't make the cut.
it is what it is, and I don't blame them doing shit like that. It's just
No, they're guns for hire.
right, and I think Nintendo is going to pay. I'm very curious to see how that game does.
Yeah.
It seems like a weird one to me,
Oh, it's weird. Yeah, definitely.
but not everything they do hits. So
Sure.
we'll see.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, I've been replaying Dark Souls Remastered, and I'm like at the final boss right now, and this game is still exquisite. It is a fine wine of video games, absolutely. Playing it in a post like Elden Ring world is very interesting to me, because when I started playing it, it's much slower than I remember. Of course, those games were very deliberate in how you attack and stuff like that, but just like the movement, and you can only roll in 4 directions, unlike future games where you can roll in 8. So it's much more limiting from that, or stiff, I should say, as well, from that front. But things like its level design are still so well done. This game's from 2011, but it's still so well done, and how thought out everything is. Everything feels like it has like a grand design and how it connects. Even things like streams or like the water flow, how it connects to somewhere. Like New Londo Ruins, if you guys have played the game, it's this flooded area, and like where the water comes from, like that. People have gone outside like the map viewer to kind of see all this kind of stuff and how it lines up. It's like there's like a ton of thought on how all these things are put together and laid out. And it's such an interesting game where you still get this like I've played through this game, I don't know, so many times, and I still get this really satisfying feeling when you find like something that loops around or something connects. You're like, wow, this is really cool. I'm back at this spot I was like 3 hours ago, but just from a completely different way. And I think that magic is still so captivating and well done in this game. That's like one thing that makes this game, Dark Souls 1, stand out compared to Dark Souls 2 and 3. I like 3 a lot, but I think the level design in 1 is still the best in terms of that. Like, Colin, you've played some of Elden Ring, so you have like a brief idea. And Micah, you're going to be playing Elden Ring.
Yeah, and I played Dark Souls 1 as well. So
yeah, okay. So yeah, you have an idea of how it's coming out, but it's just one of those things where you're just like, man, I can't believe how well they did all these things. It seems like such a weird thing, but a lot of games at the time were doing that, where it's like you are in this space, but you could see something in the distance to where you will be much further in the game. And when you get to that spot, you could see where you were later on. You're like, whoa, this is sick how this world actually connects and feels like a lived in space. And like I said, that sounds like a very weird thing to say now, but back then that was kind of unusual. A lot of it was just like, oh, level 1, level 2, flat plane you're going traveling across, something like that. But this is a very verticality heavy game. Like you're going up and down a lot, huge distances, and how it all connects is so rad. It's like Colin, you play Metroidvania and it has like really good level design. You're like, oh, this connects in a really sick way. It's like that, but in like a 3D space, like a Metroid game, I guess. But honestly, even more impressive than a lot of those kind of things. And the sheer amount of like enemy variety in these games they are kind of unrivaled. I feel like this company, in terms of how many different types of enemies they have in their game. Even old games like this is so well done. The amount of weapons, memorable characters in this game. You guys, like, even you guys know who Solaire is, the Praise the Sun guy. I'm sure you've heard that.
Oh yes, the meme.
It's just like they're from this game, man, and they've done this in a lot of their games before Dark Souls. Like, I want to make this very clear. From Software is making dark fantasy games for a very long time, way before Miyazaki even got in here, and how kind of they do their storytelling and stuff like that. But it's such a fun thing where it's like there's an unreliable narrator often throughout this game, Colin. It's like Final Fantasy VII. When you like talk to someone you don't really know, they'll tell you something, but it might not always be the truth, or it may be close to it, but it's kind of stretched. And they like to keep things in kind of an ambiguous way where we don't necessarily have all the answers. I mean, people have made entire careers out of dissecting lore in these games. And for good reason, because it's really fascinating. And when you get to know these characters in these games, they are so captivating. Hawkeye Go, who is in the DLC, is just this giant who is blind, or says he's blind, Colin, but he's actually just kind of dumb, and his visor is covered up with things blocking his vision that people put in there. So he's not actually blind, I think. So there's very like a weird sense of humor throughout these games, but it's very dark, of course. You know, there's a lot of death and stuff like that, and people will lie to your face often or deceive you. So it's been really fun for me to revisit that. Of course, I know how the NPCs behave, but Dark Souls 1 is such an amazing game if you have no thoughts about it, in the sense of like, you don't know anything about it. You don't know what these characters are. You don't know their motivations. You don't know this world. It's such a wonderful game to get lost in. If you've never played, I highly recommend it, but do not play with a guide if you can help it, is my suggestion. There are ambiguous quest lines throughout the game, but it kind of adds this sense of charm where you feel like you are putting pieces together of like a storyline. You may skip a part of a quest line, but you may find them later on. Sometimes you may finish the quest line. Sometimes you may screw it up and just ruin it. You won't see them, but that's life. And I really love that about this game. It's not for everybody, of course, that kind of thing, but I personally really love that kind of stuff and the mystery that surrounds it. But yeah, it's just an amazing game. I will say Bed of Chaos is an awful boss fight. It's fucking terrible. I hate it. If you guys played the game, you know that's like the one huge blemish, I think, on this game. But it's a wonderful game, man. Full of mystery still. It's still got it, man. Even after all these years, it's still such a special game, and I just adore it. And obviously, if you played it, you most likely probably enjoy it. But if you haven't played it for some reason yet, please play it. I would say if you have never played a Souls game, though, right now, I feel like Elden Ring is probably the best spot to jump in, just because there are so many things to make it easier. There's not as many roadblocks. There's other things you can do. You can go power up easier. You can go fight optional stuff much more easy in this game or in those games. But this game definitely still has, you can go different ways in different order kind of thing. So you're still going to have that freedom. Not complete open world freedom. Like you're not riding a mount like you are in Elden Ring or anything like that. But it's a damn fine game. And I just fucking love it. It's one like, I don't know. It's an all-time great to me in terms of video games. A legendary game. All right.
I wish
Colin.
I was, by the way, I was just going to say, I'm sorry, I want to let you finish.
No, yeah.
I've always been jealous of people that get into that are in the FromSoft game specifically, but just like that whole style of game, because I totally get it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I just don't, there's something about like the high level of difficulty and the consequence in the game that really turns me off, because I totally understand everything else about it. But it's always fun to, Dark Souls 1 is funny because I remember that being a game I very deliberately tried to do. Like, it was probably back in that game you said 2011, right? So it was probably spring 2012. I think I took a week off from work. Like I started stacking up too many hours, and like, so they were just not, I wasn't accruing more. So I had to start taking time off. And so I took a week off and I basically just played Dark Souls like in the afternoons that week. And I just found it so frustrating. And I remember that. And it's very early in the game, I think, but that one scene where like the dragon, like you're going down, a dragon just comes and like fucking kills you.
Yep.
Like I'm like, what is like, but I totally understand what you're saying there. It's kind of a little trite at this point because everyone uses this word, but the games have a liminal quality to them.
Mm-hmm.
They seem supernatural and strange. Bloodborne really leans into that, I think. I mean, maybe the others do too, but just like having that world you begin in and then going and like transferring to the world, and all, it's like I dig it. Like I wish that I tried really hard with Neo as well, which is different, obviously, but but yeah, it's just not for me. But when I play a game like Elden Ring, I'm like, yeah, I get this. I get it totally. Very mysterious, very fun, but
yeah, not for everybody, and that's okay. But I think if you get into it, you can really get into it and really dig it. I can't wait for Micah to play Elden Ring. I can't wait to hear her thoughts. It's gonna be fun.
It can go so many different ways, but I'm very excited.
Yeah. I'm excited to talk about these next two games because I also enjoy these. Onimusha 1 and 2, Colin.
Yes.
You've been playing through in preparation for what is it called? Way of the Sword, the new one?
Way of the Samurai, maybe, or Way of the Sword. Yeah, Way of the Sword. Way of the Samurai is a series.
That's
Yeah.
a PS2 game.
Yeah, that was like,
that.
I think that was like didn't Acquire or lose the Tenchu license, and then they started doing that series instead.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Something like that.
It was one of those games where you're meant to replay it a lot,
Right,
from what I remember, because you could beat it fairly quickly.
And that turned into like Shinobito, right? Like that was a whole nother series, I think.
Shinobito, wow. I haven't heard that in a long time.
Oh, that's a name I haven't heard in many years.
Shinobito.
Yeah, Onimusha 1 and 2. Okay, Micah's going to just feed the dogs.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
I was just saying for the audience because she put it in the chat and she's just getting up and she's like, I can't take it.
Yeah.
I can't take the Onimusha talk. Yeah, so Onimusha Warlords is the first one. Onimusha 2 is the second one. What is that one called? Dawn of Dreams or something? No, that's the fourth
Samurai
one. Samurai's
Destiny?
That's right.
Yeah.
I have my notes here. There we go. So yeah, I've been trying to spend a little bit of the summer preparing, like laying the groundwork for some of the games that are coming out. So I haven't gotten as far as I wanted to, which is not surprising, but I played through most of GTA 5, kind of got bored of it, but in preparation for GTA 6, but I'll go back and beat it at some point. I'm like right near the end. I do that shit sometimes where I like play an entire game and I'm like, I just can't even beat it.
Okay.
And then I was like, Onimusha 1, Onimusha 2, and then Onimusha 4 is imminent. I think it comes out the 21st or something, 24th?
No, it comes out like early September.
Oh, early September.
Yeah, like September, like, because Below the Dawnwalker is like September.
No. I'm
3rd?
saying Onimusha 4, like the
Oh,
PS
sorry. I thought you meant 5 technically. Yeah.
Okay. It's not called Onimusha 4, but the fourth Onimusha game is coming to PSN. So I want to kind of maybe get into that as Dawn of Dreams, right? Yeah. So, and Onimusha 3, we've talked about a million times, is kind of in licensing hell, so it's probably just never going to come out.
Yeah.
Onimusha 1, 2, and 3 are a trilogy, and they always had them envisioned like that. And for people that don't know, Keiji Inafune actually produced these games, which is funny. He's obviously the father of Mega Man, and will later go on to do Dead Rising after this. But
Lost Planet too,
Lost Planet, right? Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
And a couple other odds and ends as well. So I have a soft spot for Onimusha 1 especially. I have fond memories of the first two, generally speaking, but the first one, I've said this before, it felt like really one of the first consequential PS2 releases, and I was so excited about it that spring 2001. I was in 11th grade, and I actually wrote a strategy guide for it. You can see it on GameFAQs right now if you want, that I co-wrote with this other person, but it's this very concise, contained, small game about one night at this Japanese castle, basically. And it's obviously predicated a great deal on Resident Evil, but it is action-oriented and a little looser in its story. Its story's kind of cool, actually. I had to study it a little bit because I didn't really understand what was going on, I get it in the game, but I'm like, what was the real story behind this? So it's actually an alternate history piece and the timeline switches from our real past to this Onimusha's timeline in 1561. And there's this thing, I guess, the year before called the Battle of Okihazama. And in this battle in the real world, Obunaga, I guess, let me see here. I'm reading my notes. Yeah, it's regarded as one of the most significant turning points in Japanese history, according to the Wikipedia era, and it's during the so-called Sengoku era. And I wrote here, the changes in Onimusha's story that depart from actual history seem to revolve around Nobunaga. In reality, Nobunaga leads a small band of outnumbered men to a stunning victory in this battle, so in the real world. But in Onimusha's lore, Nobunaga's men win, but he dies. And this is like the turning point in like where all of Onimusha, I think, comes from. And it's kind of neat because it's about how there's like this demon world, the Genma or Genma. I don't know exactly how to say it. I think it's Genma.
Yeah.
And they don't call them that in the first one, but they start calling them that in the second one. Remember there was an Xbox port of Onimusha 1 called Genma Onimusha?
So, I don't actually. That's interesting.
Yeah, and that was when they started like using, because I think it was still during that weird localization era where it's like, it's too weird, it's too foreign to call them that, all the rest. So
Genma Onimusha, yeah.
So what ends up happening basically, and I won't spoil too much of it, is that Nobunaga's revived by like this demonic force that demonic force that intends on using him as a leverage to do things in the real world on their behalf and fulfill this demonic legacy. And you play as this character Samanosuke.
Love Samanosuke, yeah.
Who's he's in the first and third one, right?
Yep.
Because he comes back in the third one. And the second one he plays Jubei, which we'll talk about in a minute. And so the game takes a place at what they call Inabayama Castle. And I was reading a little bit about this. It's more commonly known as Gifu Castle. And it's actually a fairly famous place in Japanese history. So people might, the very famous pagoda-like Japanese castles.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Really cool environment.
And you're going there to deal with this mystery that revolves around this letter you received from this princess saying that her brother has disappeared and like weird shit's going on at this castle. And so you go as like the retainer to try to solve this problem. And it's, like I said, a pretty brief game. Like you could beat it blind, I believe, in under 5 hours fairly easily. And there's short. A trophy for beating it, I think, in under 2 hours. I platinumed it. So it is a very small game. It is a very early PS2 game. As I understand, Onimusha 2 was in development while Onimusha 1 was, like, they already knew. So I think this was just the starting point. And in fact, when we'll talk about Onimusha 2 in a minute, Onimusha 1's within Onimusha 2. A lot of it is in the game, which I love that kind of shit. Reminds me a little bit of Mega
cool.
Man. So, and I feel like that's the Inafune maybe influence there creatively.
Touch, yeah.
But, and it also allows them to save a lot of resources by making you go to old places.
Reuse those assets, baby.
So it is an action game that revolves around a series of weapons that you receive, these swords or these various weapons, these blades that are imbued with different types of power. So like lightning power, wind. In Onimusha 2, you get earth, like an earth hammer, and so on and so forth. Same idea. And you interchange between these weapons based on the enemies that you encounter. And you when the enemies die, they give up these orbs that float ethereally in the air. It's very Onimusha. I feel like it's actually Onimusha's like calling card are these orbs, and you press circle and hold it down, and you suck them into this gauntlet that you have. And then you go to these save points that are these little like lantern kind of things, and you upgrade your weapons and your magic that is imbued into these weapons. And the second one, they streamline it also, like the weapon and magic is all in one bar. And you upgrade them as you go, and the game is kind of segmented not only with some light Resident Evil style puzzles with keys and all the rest, but also you encounter these doors that are simply locked with colored orbs, and it will be 1 orb or 2 orb or 3 orbs, and it's simply indicating to you need to upgrade your magic, and then you can use the magic on the door to get through or whatever. So it segments itself like that. It's funny, like I have to remind myself when I play remasters like these PS2 remasters that they didn't feel like this, and they didn't look like this. They did kind of run like this. I was reading about it because I was like, these games did run at 60 frames, didn't they? And they did on PS2. But so they did run well, but they were tanky. And it's worth noting with Onimusha 1 and 2, I think this changes for 3, but it definitely does for 4, is it's pre-rendered backgrounds and stiff angles. And it gets a little annoying sometimes, but in the remasters, they free up the sticks to play more traditionally in third person with both of them. And it makes things just so much more fluid. So I have to remind myself that it did not feel like this. It reminds me a lot of even playing like Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask on N64, and how different of an experience that actually is compared to playing it on more modern hardware where you have like two proper sticks and might be able to move around. And I'm very interested to see the remake and how that feels, So yeah, it's a fun, Onimusha 1 is a fun, self-contained, light horror, light Japanese history game with a small mystery at the center of it, highly replayable, some optional things to do in the game. The Oni Spirits mini games, so annoying with the like destroying the barrels and shit.
It's interesting how many ideas from this game you see in other games later on. Like you were saying, the absorbing the orbs and leveling up your weapons. Like that's God of War right there. That's Devil May Cry right there. Just those little seeds are being planted.
Right.
Like the demon realm, you going into it, the different floors, like that's the Bloody Palace kind of thing. Reminds me of from Devil May Cry. It's like, yeah, this game influenced a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, they were kind of sister games at that time too, because obviously at this point, DMC, well, like the original Resident Evil 4 was in development, which would become DMC, right? So, yeah, there's probably a lot of like circular incubation with a lot of these ideas at Capcom specifically at this time. But I dig the game in terms of if someone's looking for like this grand horror experience, like not Requiem necessarily because it's an older game, but something that's like a little more meaty. I don't think you're gonna find it here, but I think it is a great place to start. It's fun to play. The different enemies are fun to fight. I find combat to be quite satisfying, but again, I just try to remind myself that it's
very simplistic.
Yeah,
but it's still cool.
It is, and I like that you have to find like the fluorite to unlock things, which is like this rock, these types of rocks. There's like 24 in the game, but they're kind of difficult to find. Yeah, it's a cool game. So then Onimusha 2 is what's funny about Onimusha 2 is that it comes out very quickly after Onimusha 1. It comes out the next fall. So Onimusha 1 spring 2001, and then it's like late August 2002 is when Onimusha 2 comes out in the West. And I remember this so well. Like I didn't even have to look it up, although I did just to verify, I guess. But it's like it came out the same day Super Mario Sunshine came out. I remember that. Because I remember my dad like stopped by the mall to pick them up for me because I had pre-ordered them and paid for them already. And I was about to go back to college. So I remember like getting everything like ready to go. My GameCube with Sunshine, which was like my priority.
Yeah.
Onimusha 2 is a reflexive game that I think tries to do too much and kind of loses sight of itself a little bit. I didn't remember it nearly as well as I remember the first game, which I remembered really surprisingly well because I played it so many times. But when I started playing Onimusha 2, and specifically when I get to the hub world in the game, well, it's not really a hub world, but there's like a town in the game.
The town, yeah.
And the game sends you in different directions, but you often revisit these old places or whatever. And I was like, oh, yes. I remember why I didn't like this game as much as the first one. And it's this whole, you play as a different character, Jubei, which is cool. It's like years later. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't bother me. But there's this whole gift giving system in the game. It's really weird.
Yeah.
And the whole game revolves around these 4 characters that are ancillary protagonists and your befriending of them. And it's cool in that there is and I can see the vision. There's a lot of replay value here because if you are friendly with this specific character or unfriendly with a specific character at certain points, different things happen, radically different things happen in the story. And there's even a tracker, reminded me a little bit of a simplistic tracker from Detroit Become Human, where it shows you the different butterfly effects and it shows you all the things that are blacked out, like the decisions you could have made or the people you could have befriended and the things you didn't see. And it encourages you to go back through the game, and you could do all this on the same save file. So to see everything in Onimusha 2, you would have to really use a strategy guide. And if you did, you would have to play it at least 4 times, like cleanly, and then you would see everything. But it can be even more than that. It's not much longer than Onimusha 1. I would say it's maybe twice as long, which means it's probably 5 to 6 hours long instead of maybe 2 to 3 hours long. And there is a trophy to beat it under 5 hours. So maybe it's a little longer than that, like 8 hours, let's say.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole gift thing really bogs it down, and I don't really like it. And I remember being so annoyed by it, and I started reading a little bit about it. So Onimusha 2 came to PS2 in 2002 and then was never released anywhere ever again, not even on PC. And then last year, the remaster comes out and it's released everywhere. And it's the first time, apparently, people have been able to really crack into Onimusha 2's code and understand it. And it's the first time anyone really understands the gift system, as I understand. So like this thing went all of these years, like more than 2 decades, where people didn't really quite understand how it worked. And then they were able to kind of see the math behind the decisions. And now there's like a real mathematical way you can approach the entire thing, which is kind of neat. I mean, it kind of breaks the idea as well. But I remember it might have been my guide writing sensibilities at that time too, where I'm like, this game just annoyed the fuck out of me. And so a lot of people are annoyed by other things in the game. There's a lot of weird, like future tech, like weird shit in the game that I think is kind of strange. I was making fun of a lot of that when Mike was
like Resident Evil, like labs kind of thing.
Right. It's like, yeah. Right. And they're like on like airplane style. It's like, what is, and like mechs. And I'm like, this is fucking stupid. But it is undeniably fun to play. Like there's no doubt about it. Like just playing the game, it's a pleasure, especially when you interact with the other. So you have like your basic blade weapons and implements, but then you also have like a bow and arrow and you have a rifle, and using them in combination with each other and the ammunition you find, you craft some ammunition specifically in the first game. So there is like a quite a dynamic to the game that I think is fun to play, and it can be difficult, especially on higher difficulty levels. But there is something lost in Onimusha 2 that just didn't resonate with me, and a lot of it just has to do with managing these characters and your relationships with them. And it just seems like everything you're finding, like there's a store, in-game store, but the store only sells gifts. You find currency in the game, gold, but you can only spend it on buying gifts. Half the things you find in the world are gifts, and you have to. It's kind of easy to figure out who's who. So like one of the dudes is an alcoholic. So like if you find alcohol, you just give it to him. He likes it. One guy's like a scholar, so you just give him the books, and like you give him a globe and a map, and it's kind of sensible, But there's this back end arithmetic about how it all works and what will happen depending on where you are in the game, and it's much more complex. And it actually conflicts a little bit with what you were saying about how you like the Dark Souls, like, oh, this is cut off, you failed. It's the way it goes.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that shit. And now there are games where it is the nature of the game, but I feel like there are games where it feels like it should be the nature of the game, but it's not really the nature of the game. And like missing out on things in Onimusha is not really the nature of the game. It's you know
right.
what I mean? Like at least,
Sure.
well, who am I to tell them what the nature of the game is? I just feel like they kind of missed on that. And I think that Onimusha kind of struggles from here because you get into the third game, which I have not played since 2004, 2005, but I didn't like it. And that's why I have such fond memories of the fourth one, because I remember playing it. I wrote the guide for it at IGN. I played it in college, and I remember playing it in my dorm room. I'm like, this is dope. Love this. So that's why I'm excited to get to that. So that's where I kind of stand on Onimusha right now. A fun action RPG with action game with light RPG elements, horror elements, Japanese history elements, historical elements, but also alternate history elements. Early PS2 Capcom when they were really operating on all cylinders. And yeah, they can be had for pretty cheap, and they're available on all these platforms. So,
yep,
familiarize yourself. I've not really seen very much about the new Onimusha, so I'm not even really sure how it connects. Like, I don't know. I have no idea. So I'm just going to kind of go in blind, see what happens.
Cool. All right. Very nice. Yeah, we won't have to wait too much longer for that new Onimusha. Very excited as well.
I hope they bring back the Goron guy at the mine who keeps telling you can't go in the mine.
Oh, you like that guy?
I like that guy.
Yeah,
that guy's my favorite.
That's an Onimusha too.
Yeah. Yep. All right, Micah. Last game here for the show. Defender of the Crown. The Legend returns. What is this?
Oh my God. Okay. This took me by complete surprise. Here's how I found this game in the first place. I just randomly saw on Twitter that both Metal Jesus and Pro Jared had done videos about this game. I'd never heard of it, never seen it, watched both their videos, sold. Defender of the Crown is a 1986 game for the Commodore Amiga. It at the time, like the animations were like really cool. And, when you look at it, it's like, yeah, the art is gorgeous. This version of it has 3 different modes. There's a retro mode that is very faithful to the original game. There's a classic mode that has just given it a facelift and also like has some new animations. They've improved like the menu system, for example. And then it adds on also a kingdom mode, which is a deck building roguelike. And that's a completely new concept. And I got hooked on that as well. First and foremost, the game's just gorgeous. I played on classic mode. I've done a few runs of it now. In this game, the king has been assassinated, and you are just trying to control all the territories and be crowned the new king of England. One thing I really like about this game is just the scale of it is much smaller than something like Romance of the Three Kingdoms, for example, which, if you watch Punching Up, I got into for a bit on Nintendo Switch Online, and it's cool, but there's so much going on. Like in those games, like you can bribe officials, you can spread rumors. Like there's this whole like political intrigue slant to it, and the battles are really slow, and like you'll make one critical mistake and it's like ruins everything, hours of work. This is just a lot more simplistic of you're amassing an army, because the other thing with Romance of the Kingdoms is that you need to like hire like officials. Like you need to hire a guy who's in charge of farming and the economy and all this stuff. And like the different people you hire will do a good or bad job. It's intense. This is not on that level. You amass your army, you go out and fight. You buy siege weapons, you use them. You strategize a little bit. It's just so much more simple, and I'm loving it. You have different leaders to choose from. They have different attributes. That's kind of a slight difficulty modifier because, kind of like how it would work in Civilization, the leader with the highest sword fighting skill is going to make raids easier because that's where the raids and rescuing maidens is this like a little sword fighting mini game. And raids earn you money, rescuing maidens earns you fame. The character with the highest jousting skill will obviously make the jousts easier. Jousting can earn you fame and land. So you kind of pick and choose your leaders based on which aspect of the game you want to be easier or more difficult. While you're doing your turn, because each turn you take is like a month in the game and the time just keeps advancing. I don't think there's a time limit. I certainly didn't hit it in any of my playthroughs. So it's not like, oh, you have 3 in-game years to do this. It's like it just keeps rolling, at least as I've played it. But like you can recruit soldiers, you can build siege weapons or castles, which I totally missed at first. And I was like, dude, how am I supposed to control all this land? Like they just keep taking it back. And I didn't realize you're supposed to build a castle and then you can station your guys. Cause I'm like, it's weird. I can't station my dudes. You can. You lay siege to other people, which is this fun mini game where like you're trying to break down their castle wall and then you go into battle. The battles have different options. So like if you have siege weapons, you can use them in battle. Otherwise, if you have like more knights, you can try and like outflank them. Like it's real time. You're controlling the battle and trying to get rid of all their guys first. You can get married. It's not like a huge aspect of the game, but what'll happen is that randomly in the game, it'll say like a Saxon maiden has been kidnapped and they'll give you like a little description of the lady. And there's multiple of them. So the first maiden you rescue is the one that you marry. So you do want to be a little strategic because you collect their letters from them. There's like a separate in-game menu of like the letters from the maidens. So I'm trying to get them all. But that's a whole other thing. And then your wife sometimes will get kidnapped, and Colin and I have been laughing at that because
she gets kidnapped
it happens
constantly.
Based on, here's what happens though. It's good and bad. Yes, she gets kidnapped a lot. However, every time you rescue her, your fame goes up and your leadership score goes up. So if you need more leadership points, and you do, you keep rescuing your wife, you keep rescuing the other maidens. But it is funny because it'd be like, I'll rescue her, and then like 2 minutes later, like I'll hear like the sound effect for her getting kidnapped. And I'm like, oh my God. And Colin's like, she got kidnapped again.
She's got that. I was telling you, she's got that good, I don't know. These guys
she's a desirable woman.
Yeah.
All of them that I've married so far. So that's a fun little aspect of it. There are some random events that pop up that give it like an Oregon Trail quality. So and these are things that you can't interact with. So it'll say like a Viking raid threatened your castle. A band of armed men stole the monthly tax payments. You didn't get as much money this month. The Danish appeared and just stole a territory. So those little events pop up. And of course, I love Oregon Trail. And that is just kind of fun. And you don't interact with those, but how well you're doing will determine how much of an effect that's going to have on your game. I really got hooked once I got the hang of it and did like my first successful run. And so since then, I've played through, I think, 3 of the 4 characters. I have 1 more to do and more maidens to rescue. I think there's 6 different wives you can have. So I'm going to keep playing that. But then Kingdom Mode. In Kingdom Mode, which is the like deck building game, the map it like randomly generates the placement of like bandit camps, shops, damsels in distress, and there's many more districts on it. Because in the main game, there's like a few territories. That's part of why it's fairly short to do a run. And in this, they break down the map even more. And what you're doing is you're freely moving around the map and doing dice and card battles with the goal of building a strong enough deck to make your way all the way down to the southern end of the map where the boss is. And so along the way, you can buy like holy relics at the church to use during the card battles. And, those will turn the whole situation around if you need it. Or, you fight bandits and other people and you earn better cards. And, I really actually have never spent much time with a deck builder. So at first I was kind of like, oh my God, this is so overwhelming. And then, of course, once I got into it and did a couple successful runs, I'm like, this is like crack.
Yeah.
It's so good. I think I like the base game the best because of the charm of it. But this is just incredibly creative because what they've done is they've turned all the mini games into dice games. So the jousting tournament from the main game, in the deck builder, instead you're rolling dice and trying to get the highest score, and the highest score will win the joust. And the sword fighting mini game has been replaced where you have to match their dice within like a time limit, basically, to successfully hit them. So it's just really creative how they've done this and kind of reworked these mini games around. And some of the events on the map are timed. So it'll be like you have 3 turns to rescue the maiden, or, she's just going to disappear. And you want to rescue them because those become modifiers for future runs. So like if I rescue Catherine, then I can, on a subsequent run, use her family's trait, which is like 10% off at the shops, right? And so you do earn things that are permanent later. Like you can get some special dice. You get these jewels that turn into like difficulty modifiers. So I earned a jewel that makes the terrain an actual element of the gameplay. So now it's like, okay, if I play on that mode, then XYZ will happen based on whatever soldiers I'm bringing with me,
Yeah.
It's great. It's great.
Okay.
I got really into it. I stayed up way too late last night playing, except I was just like, more. So yeah, while your deck does like reset each time, you earn items and skills that you can use later on. And that's key for me in these roguelike type of things. I gotta have some sort of like progression or some sort of thing that I feel like I get to take this with me.
Right.
Because it's like, I get it. The cards will reset, the map will reset, but you gotta give me something to hold on to. Otherwise, I'm like, what the hell was all that for?
Yeah.
What was it all for? And so then you can kind of reuse those things. And like, I'm earning my special dice now that give me like an edge. So it's amazing. Whether you have fond memories of this game from when you were a child in 1986 and then you want to play it again now, or if you're like me and you never heard of it until Pro Jared was tweeting about it and you said, you know what, guy, I'll give it a try. It's so great. It's so great. I love it. It was like $20 on the eShop. It really has just taken me completely by surprise. So I'm like, bro, I'm not going to lie to you. This is like number 2 on my game of the year list right now.
Damn. Okay.
Like it's so good. It's so good. It's really fun. I'm having a great time with it. And it's completely unexpected that something like this would just pop onto my radar. And I'm like, oh, yeah, all right, let's check it out. And it's incredible. And it makes me sad to think, oh my God, there's probably 1,000 similar games that I can't experience. I love strategy games so much. God, they're perfect. I just love controlling my little armies, and it's great. It's great.
We got to get you a table where you can push armies around with a little stick.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Well, because one of the cool things too is that like when you're in battle, like the animations change based on what you actually have. So like if you bring multiple catapults, they're on screen and you see them firing. If you don't have any catapults, they're not there. And so it's little touches like that I just like, that it's not just like a static battle animation. It's like, no, there's all my little catapult guys.
Yeah, there's my boys right there. Yeah.
Those are my boys, man. It's great. If
cool.
you have even like a slight inclination towards strategy games, check this one out. Or pick it up if it's on sale at some point. But oh my God, if you like strategy, here's the one thing though. Don't buy this game and then tell me it's boring if you don't like strategy games. Because one of the things that made me more mad than anything in the world was a very dear listener. All right. It's not you. It kind of is though. He was like, Micah really oversold Unicorn Overlord. This game's boring. And it's like, if you don't like strategy, it's gonna suck.
Yeah.
I didn't oversell it for strategy fans. But if you're a Call of Duty guy and you're like, Micah said Unicorn Overlord was your game of the year and I hated it, it's like, well, you gotta know what genres you like, bucko.
Yeah, of
That's
course.
a little on you. So, like, don't tell me, oh, this game sucks. I don't like it. My favorite games are Far Cry and Uncharted. It ain't for you.
Yeah.
But if you like strategy, it's really great. I need you to understand the nuance of that. The game on the surface probably looks boring as hell, but it's fantastic if you like strategy.
Yeah. Unicorn Overlord, 86 on Metacritic users.
Amazing.
84 users, 86 critics. Like, yeah, that's really good.
Oh, that, like, I was so pissed off at that because they're like, she really oversold it. This game's boring. And it's like, if you don't like strategy, my boy,
Yeah.
you won't like it.
Yeah.
But I think I made that very clear when Jaffe and I talked about it for like an hour straight on Summon Sign.
Mm-hmm.
Because like he and I both were over the moon with that game. But it's like, no, you're not gonna like it if your favorite game is Uncharted and that's like your favorite type of. So don't do this to me, all right? Don't come at me being like, this game sucks and it's boring. Know what you like.
Right.
Know what you like.
Okay. Very cool, Micah. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
It's so good.
Yeah, Micah.
So
I looked
good.
at it. I was like, oh yeah, this is Micah bait big time.
Dude, and like the different dudes you play as, like one of the guys you play as kind of looks like Ravishing Rick Rude. So like that's funny. It's just the little cast of characters that are in it. They don't have as much personality as in like Romance of the Three Kingdoms, like because they don't really talk. In Romance of the Three Kingdoms, because you have to do like negotiation and stuff like that, like there's a humor to it because it's like, oh my god, I'm playing as this guy and I'm trying to negotiate with the other leaders and like he failed because his leadership skill was low. And like this little blurb pops up and he's like, negotiation is quite difficult. I'm like, you did it again. There's not like that element to it because they don't talk and interact with each other. But I don't know. You make up your own lore. You make up your own lore about it. There's this guy. There's like a bunch of French names in it and stuff. So we're making fun of that. Like, it's just been fun. And you make your own little rivalries in your head. I don't know. If you have an ounce of imagination left in your corpse, it's quite a fun game.
Okay, dude. Great sell. I like it. All right, let's end the show with some write-ins. If you want to write into the show and all of our shows, we post them on our Patreon. So keep an eye out for whatever show you're interested in writing in for. Home Cooked Meals wrote in, said, hi, Brad, Colin, and Micah. Strauss Zelnick recently said he expects low latency game streaming to become commercially meaningful within about 3 years. Pair that with Rockstar choosing Netflix for the GTA 6 extended look. And I wonder, is Netflix a bigger long-term threat to PlayStation than Steam? What if Netflix's endgame is to turn every subscriber into a potential game buyer? Keep some games included with the subscription, but sell marquee games like GTA 6 separately at full price and stream them directly through the Netflix app. No $1,000 console required. Netflix already has the audience billing recommendation engine and a place on hundreds of millions of TVs. If they can solve latency and cloud compute costs, couldn't they become essentially Steam for casual gamers, especially people who only want to play massive cultural games like GTA, Call of Duty, or FIFA? Colin, what do you think about this?
Yeah, I mean, I think that is the idea. You have to understand, though, that Netflix, I mean, they just closed down a couple studios, I think, this week.
Yes.
That they bought, including, was it the Oxenfree team that?
It was, yeah.
It's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You either kind of have it or you don't in this space. I always say that about Amazon. It's crazy how badly Amazon botched their gaming initiatives over the last 15 plus years. They have nothing to show for it basically at all. And they dumped an enormous amount of money into everything. Most recently, they sold that MMO to Ubisoft, right? They let 2 other of their games go independent. Lumberyard never became, which was their engine, never became a thing.
New World's dead.
Right. And they don't, and they also clearly have no idea what they're going to do with 007, which is hysterical. Like to me, the just the way they talk about IO and 007 and it's like, you guys are so fucking stupid. Like it's incredible how stupid you are with this stuff. And so I say that only in terms of money and intent doesn't necessarily equal success. This also happened with Google Stadia. But Netflix has been, I think, somewhat long on games for a while. And I brought up recently, like you can even look at things like Bandersnatch as which was that like choose your own adventure Black Mirror, which was super cool, of like some sort of interactivity. I will say this though, over and over again, it doesn't only go for Netflix, it goes for everyone. And why I think that the idea, people with low latency game streaming, people are very focused on the latency part, which is reasonable enough, and that you can only really do so much about that. A lot of it is going to come from like predictive engineering and like having data centers near you and stuff that just cut down on the speed of light or the distance of the light that it needs to travel, since you can't do much about the speed of light. But I am really fixated on the fact that I don't know why these companies would want that future. Because a lot of people think it's like, well, they can control things and you don't own anything. And I'm like, yeah, it's a very dystopian way of looking at things though. Like, what does the power bill look like? I keep trying to ask people this, like, what you're right now, the status quo is they sell you hardware at cost. Maybe they make a little bit of money on you. You serve the internet, you serve the electricity, you buy things from them and interact with them and their network when you need to download things or you're playing games online for which you pay for connectivity, and it's all your problem. And then suddenly they want to control that, and then they have to, it's their internet, their power, their hardware, in their server farms, and that's what they want. I'm like, I don't know about that. I know that's what they say they want, and I think some of these companies do want that, and they want it as an option. But I think there is major downstream effects to that level of gaming, and I think they will discover that. And I cannot imagine a reason why you wouldn't want to offload your compute to the consumer. Why not?
Yeah. Why not?
So I say it all the time. When you stream a PS3 game, it is a PS3 playing it in a server farm. It's literally a PlayStation 3 console that Sony has to fucking power up, turn like, and put the internet in it. And then it's like, it's just stupid.
It's crazy.
It's that's like kind of it's even what people say about like local AI LLMs and stuff like that, about how you can really get these models on local machines at some point. And I think people already do that. And you don't even need to like have these farms of things. Like you can actually just do it on your own hardware. And it seems like kind of this dystopian trick of you will own nothing and like it. And I'm like, maybe, but it just doesn't. If you think the businesses are as craven as they are, then this doesn't actually wash for me. It's like, no, I don't think this is what you want. And I think at best for PlayStation, as an example, like cloud already is a part of it, and it will continue to be a part of it. It's convenient for some people. This is the other thing. Why does the user benefit from cloud gaming? Doesn't make any sense. Why would you want a cloud game if you could locally game? This is what the PlayStation 6 is going to solve with the handheld, that the situation with the Portal. It's like, why would you want that? And the only answer could be like, well, maybe it's a lower cost of entry. Then I'm like, well, then how do they pay their bills? This all doesn't make sense. So that's my bigger concern.
Okay. Micah, any thoughts from you on this?
God, not really, honestly. It's something that I'm just like zero interest in, but I do agree with Colin. It's like, it makes sense to have it as an option, but I agree that I don't think the companies want everyone to be like, yeah, every single customer move over to this. It's one of those things that, like, if it means they can net X amount more people because it is a lower cost of entry, obviously they'll work out if those profits make sense. But it is like, yeah, no, I doubt that they want every single player to shift over to this, because it is just at the end of the day, like, where is that cost going and how does that all work?
Yeah.
But having the option available and having the option actually be viable and having the option actually work well and not being like, oh, that's a janky way to play, but I can do it. It makes sense to want that.
Yeah. Okay. KB wrote in and said, hey, Summoners. When we look at Sony's first-party portfolio, including what is released this generation, what is coming in the near future, is there any genre you think is noticeably missing that the ecosystem could really benefit from? At the moment, I think PlayStation is in dire need of an in-house first-person shooter as well as an arcade racer. I'm a sucker for third-person action games like anyone, but you're starting to see some pent-up frustration from the base. It has become third-person action game after third-person action game after third-person action game. Something in the vein of Killzone or Resistance would not only fill a genre gap, but also bring a grittier edge to what PlayStation is currently producing. These franchises have been dominant for so long that reintroducing them to a new generation of players would make a lot of sense. What say you? Well, you did get a first-person shooter as Marathon, and none of you played it.
And Concord.
And Concord.
Yeah, it's they are missing an FPS, and I think that I talked to Shuhei about this with one of the times he was on Sacred Plus about how it might have been their logic about abandoning first-person shooters was not because they didn't like Killzone and Resistance and couldn't do other things with it, that they felt the market was being
saturated with them.
Being well taken care of. Yeah,
Yeah.
service. That's a great word. Where they're like, we can't contribute the best thing here, maybe. And I don't want to put words in his mouth, but it's like Killzone and Resistance are minor players. Like every Killzone and every Resistance game combined sold as many copies as one of those Call of Duty games did that generation.
Yeah.
So I think that it was an interesting idea, but I think it was kind of a mistake where the genre, where the industry was going. They don't really have that expertise. It's why I feel like closing Zipper made a lot of sense, but in hindsight, it's like, damn, that was a huge mistake. Like they were one of the only ones that really understood the space for you, and they were there very early, so they would have gotten you really good information on that space, and they weren't allowed to kind of flex their muscles beyond SOCOM and MAG and stuff. So, they do need a first-person shooter. I think. I just wonder what form it will come in, and it's important to note that the reality is that there are no hyper relevant first person shooters outside of the major franchises. It's not like there's like some insurgent first person shooter series. Even if you look at something like Borderlands, it's like, yeah, but Borderlands is huge. It's always been huge. Didn't Borderlands 2 sell like 40 million copies or something stupid? It's like, it's like, that's an obvious thing that they need. They don't have the expertise to do it. And I think that might have been what they were building at Dark Outlaw. Although the Dark Outlaw guys, some of those guys came from Deviation, and they were making a third person game because that even leaked. Like we know what that was. So who the fuck knows, man? But arcade shooter or an arcade racer would be interesting. I think they're kind of just all focused on Gran Turismo. And if anything, Gran Turismo should just have Forza Horizon style components to it.
Sure.
You don't want to obviously break what it is. It's important. Gran Turismo is a growing platform for Sony. It's a quiet thing that's happening in that platform, is that Gran Turismo's monthly active users are getting larger and larger for a game that's somewhat old at this point. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I still think I would love, I've said it before, I don't want to beat a dead horse. It's like Killzone can make a lot of sense today, I think, just thematically. And I think it would be, I would love to write something like that. I think that would be fun. I'm not saying I would or could or be asked to. I was just like, I know exactly what that game should be. And like, think about Vecta and like the planet that's like split by a wall and stuff like that. I'm like, pretty easy to lean into some of the modern themes and make it really relevant if you wanted to. But Sony wouldn't do something like that. And I also think that they just don't feel like they need to invest in very much anymore because they don't make any money on these games. So
yeah. Micah, what would you like to see from PlayStation first party? You're not like a huge PlayStation fan or anything like that. But is there anything missing that you'd be like, I would really like that if they did that? It might get me in.
No, yeah, once upon a time I would have been like, yeah, bring back Killzone. But I really am out with Sony these days. I don't like where Horizon went. I don't like where The Last of Us went. I don't like where God of War went. It's like, what the fuck is left for me? So I'm out with PlayStation exclusives, honestly. I'm like, I'm done. There's nothing really that I want from them except, sure, if you made a cool shooter, I'd probably check it out. I like cool shooters, but they're not going to. They're not going to. So I don't know.
Yeah, it certainly seems like that. Like, I don't know, like whatever the gummy bears thing was, Colin, I'm not exactly sure what that's going to be, but I assume it's like an FPS kind of thing.
Yeah, it's I don't know. The artwork it suggests like some sort of whimsical light fantasy. I don't really know, okay. And I don't think we even know the perspective of it. I wouldn't assume it's first person though.
Okay. Yeah, well, we'll see, but I get it. Yeah, I mean, I like Killzone 2 as well, but I don't know. It's hard, like it's weird for me just because there's so much shit to play. It doesn't even like fucking matter for me. But yeah, I get it. I miss like Motorstorm. That was cool and stuff like that, but I don't know. But they're closing studios, so who the hell knows?
I just don't think like in it Microsoft figured this out, I think, with Forza Prime, which is like they just stopped making those games. Like you lean into the thing that you might not want to have more, especially in this first party, this crowded ecosystem, even having 2 racers like MotorStorm. Now, again, like Evolution suffered from MotorStorm, especially MotorStorm Apocalypse. I don't know if you remember, that game came out like right before the Japanese earthquake, and then they just like pulled it. And then Drive Club was all fucked up. So
yeah, I remember that.
So I don't know. I think they have arguably the greatest racing studio in the world. I think you just nurture that.
Yeah.
You're talking about Gran Turismo?
Gran Turismo, yeah. Have you seen that on PSN?
No,
They're like
so
like shit is getting by like so bad that they have games on there like Gran Turismo. I'm like, cool guys, cool, fun,
very cool. PlayStation, very cool.
It's your own IP, by the way. You own it.
Yep.
So that's how I'm going to be able to get away with it when I release a game called Horizon.
Yes.
So that'll work.
Bureau Born.
Yes. Raisin wrote in to Greetings Summoners. With previews of Wolverine out, a common critique I've seen is that while the game is shaping up to be another impressive outing from Insomniac, there seems to be this feeling of iteration rather than innovation that people seemingly cannot shake. While I reserve judgment myself until I play the game, I'm left wondering why people value innovation so much more than iteration. This feeling of more of the same has plagued recent PlayStation Studio sequels: Horizon Forbidden West, God of War Ragnarok, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Ghost of Yotei, the upcoming God of War Laufey, and now Wolverine have all had these criticisms leveled at them. Personally, I don't get it. What's wrong with a really good fucking wheel? Let's be honest. We all intuitively know what a Wolverine game plays like, so why should Insomniac swim against the tide? All a good Wolverine game needs is vicious, violent, melee-based combat and a good story. That's seemingly what we're getting, but I'm perplexed as to what else these reviewers were looking for in their recent hands-on preview. Could it be that this feeling of more of the same has plagued recent PlayStation Studio sequels, is sweeping into other reviewers' criticism fairly or not? In closing, do you all inherently value innovation or iteration? Do you share in this feeling of more of the same as it relates to recent PlayStation Studio sequels? How important is novelty to you? As always, I'm interested in hearing y'all's thoughts.
PlayStation doesn't make any games. Oh, here's Saros. No, not like that. Here's Tokon. No, not that. Wolverine. No, not. We don't want it like that. How about God of War Laufey? No, we don't want it like that. Intergalactic. No, not like that.
Well, nobody wants God of War Luffy, but continue.
I'm just pointing out the insight. I'm not saying Little Raisin. Little Raisin is saying that here.
Little Raisin.
It's just like, it's so funny. Like when you even list out the games, it's like, yeah, they actually are releasing games. No one buys any of them, and then they'll say that or people seem disinterested in them, and then when the big hitters come, they say that they're derivative. I already kind of feel like I answered this earlier, just in that I feel like there's only so much you can really do. I'm not trying to make excuses for game developers and game publishers. There are new ideas all the time, and you see them explored and discovered. But much like we like a good thriller or a rom-com, or I went home and I fell in love with the girl at the bookstore Hallmark movie, or the Jason Bourne, crazy agent doing wild things and jumping out of planes, like Mission Impossible stuff and all. It's like you can kind of connect the tethers between all of the shit pretty easily. And it is what it is, dude. Like I do feel like people, and this is what I was saying earlier, demand more and demand better if that's what you want, but just understand that some of us don't feel like we are getting bad things.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's a thing that people have a hard time accepting. What people were saying to me before, it's like, so when I pointed out, it's like Sony is not really focused on this anymore, and I'm like, well, I guess just lick the boot and all that. I'm like, but I'm a happy consumer. Like, I don't know what you're talking. Like, I should be upset because they're not focused on me solely anymore. So I just abandon ship, even though I'm happy with the product, and even though I don't give a fuck about the exclusives. Really, I don't know how many more times I can say that. Look at the games I play. Like, how could you only satiate yourself if you're a true player of games on only the exclusives? That could have never really been true. And then people point out, it's like, oh, look, PlayStation 1 had 700 exclusives. And I'm like, no, it didn't. Like, if you're talking about games that were published in one place, then that's different. But that's like more the way publishing worked during an era where you had to choose either putting your game on a CD or putting your game on a cartridge. Right. Where were they going to put the PS1 game? Saturn?
Ooh.
I mean, seriously, like you know what I mean?
They did some.
They early on, and those games started disappearing, and then it's like, well, yeah, if you make a PS1 game in 1998, it's a PS1 exclusive, because where the fuck are you going to put it?
Right.
You're going to make it into an N64 game. It's not how it works.
Yeah, that's when GameCube and Xbox came out.
Yeah,
started seeing a lot more.
Yeah, GameCube, Xbox, and PS2 shared everything. You know, because they were so that's why the exclusivity slowed down. So I just hate that kind of misrepresentation of things too. But I don't know. I value both innovation and iteration. But I just think like people are so like I find the sadness and jadedness so funny because I am so jaded and I feel like I'm the happiest person in the industry.
Yeah, man. I think there's a lot of good shit.
People cannot accept it. They can't accept that they don't like video games. They can't accept it. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's okay.
There's so much variety. There's more variety like now than ever. There's so much shit to play, man.
If you can't find things to play today, you don't like video games. Come talk to us in August.
That's what it feels like.
It's August 16th when we're recording this. Come talk to me August 16th, 1997. Come talk to me August 16th, 2004, when there hadn't been a game release probably in 3 months.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
It's like, and people are like, stop talking about it, stop focusing. Like, well, like these people are making it impossible to have dialogue about games because and I'm so, it's why like a lot of these, like, not that I try to invite myself on their shows or whatever, but it's like a lot of people wouldn't have me on the shows because they know what would happen.
Right.
You know, it's like these people don't play games. They don't know how to talk about games. They don't appreciate anything about them. All it is about criticism and really like getting these preconceived notions about things. Buy the game or not, I don't give a fuck. Wolverine can crash and burn for all I care. I mean, it doesn't. It's not going to. Surprise. But I don't care. Make your own decisions, but stop like poisoning the well. That's the shit I really hate. I know I'm a sad person. I know I'm a depressed person. I know I'm a jaded person. I try not to project it onto other people. Sometimes I fail, but not to any extent that these people are like just reveling in it.
Yeah. There's
no level of excitement. Nothing. The Wolverine stuff about like, oh, the red trail. I'm like Witcher. That game that you all love. Just like that, right?
Witcher sense.
They wouldn't like The Witcher. They're not cool enough.
Blubberkin. Micah, any thoughts about this?
Jesus. Well, going back to the original thought, when it comes to sequels, I am someone who says, yeah, I want more of the same. It's why I wanted a sequel. Yes, add new stuff, add a couple new things, but I am always of the attitude of like, well, it's a sequel. Yeah, I wanted more of it.
Sure,
that was kind of the point. Me falling out with Sony games is more because of like, thematically, I start to find their characters unlikable and whatever. But it's like, you know, the gameplay was fun. Like Horizon's gameplay was fun. I just hated everything else. And the first Horizon's amazing. And then the next one came out and I was like, fuck. So, you know, and then the God of War, the first one, I was like, oh, this is great. And then Ragnarok and I was like, fuck. So, you know, it's more thematically than the actual gameplay itself. I'm just like, all right, I'm out. But when it comes to sequels generally, Borderlands is a great example. Like, slap on a new stupid story and let me out there. This is exactly what I wanted. This is exactly the experience I expected and thought I was going to get. Borderlands.
Borderlands. Yeah.
Man, I fucking love Borderlands.
I still got to get to Borderlands 4. I have not gotten to it yet. It's like one of those games I got to get to at some point.
You got to play 3 because you got to see the Penn and Teller part where Penn Jillette actually does the voice, and it's great.
Okay. All right. Final writing here from Pair of Shoes. Hello, Brad of the Rings, Ellis in the North, Beast of Reincarnation, and Defender of the Grill, the Micah returns. Thought I'd go with something a little less goofy this week, given games that you know the others have played. What is a game each of you would suggest the other to play? Brad, given you like Zelda, I think you'd love Ease. Very similar, but a little more action-focused. Colin, you like Stellar Blade and are enjoying Beast of Reincarnation. I know you've briefly tried Nier Automata, but I truly feel like you'd love it, given if you give
just hate the intro. I've tried it like 3 times. I'm like, I hate this.
Just got to power through.
Yeah, I hate it. But I know somewhere in there. Also, it's a game where you can buy trophies, which I always hated too. But
yes, you can. Yeah. Micah, I know you've had trouble getting into Final Fantasy, but since you like Octopath and some of the Dragon Quest games, I think you'd like Final Fantasy IV with the Pixel Remaster releases. What do you think each other would like? Have an awesome week and a great rest of the month. Ooh, Final Fantasy IV? Great game.
Oh, yeah.
I own the Pixel remasters on physical because I ordered that from PlayAsia
For
just
Switch,
to make
yeah.
sure I got it. But I have not played it yet. No.
Okay. I've played some of Ease on Vita. I forgot which one it was on Vita.
Celcida.
Yeah, and I don't recall it being like Zelda. It was like an action RPG.
It's not
from what I
really like
remember.
Zelda. I mean, it I don't agree personally that it's like Zelda. That it is like it is an action RPG. That gets like more complicated the more the games go on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I remember in
course.
East 1 and 2, like the TurboGrafx games, like there wasn't even an attack button. You would run into enemies to fight them.
Oh, it's one of those.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. That's old school.
And then East 3 was like that was an SNES game, and that was my entrance to it at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, Colin and Micah recommended me playing Spec Ops: The Line.
Yeah,
so
I think that's a good. I don't like recommending
the one
people
for me.
games typically. Like I try to keep my powder dry.
Yeah,
Well, people listen to me.
it's one of those. Here's my thing is I'm gonna recommend you a game. You're not gonna like it. I'm gonna get real upset. So like for example, people are like, Micah needs to get Colin to play Kingdom Come Deliverance. It's like you don't understand. That game's really important to me. And if Colin said one bad thing about it, you'd never see him again.
Yeah.
So
Wow, you're
I don't want
defensive.
him to
You're
play
defensive.
it.
I don't care. It's so funny.
I love it. It depends on what I like. Specific games. Dave the Diver, I'd be like, you should play that. And if you didn't like it, I wouldn't be offended. But that, like Kingdom Come Deliverance specifically, it's like
That's
I
your
played
jam.
that after my grandma died. It's very important to me. You know, Witcher 3, extremely important to me. I don't
Sorry,
want
Witcher
to hear
sent
your negative opinion on it.
Lame.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like I don't want to hear your opinion on it, so I don't recommend things to people that I really care about because I'm like,
Yeah.
nah, because if you don't like it, I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah. Fair.
But go play like Dave the Diver or something. I love that game.
Yeah.
That's great. I won't care if you don't like it, but that game's charming. And Yakuza's another one. Colin will never play them because there's too many, and I'm perfectly fine with it because I love that series so much. I'm like, oh, this is fine. I don't want you to play it. I don't want to hear about it on the shows and whatnot, how horrible it is. So people are like, Micah loves Yakuza. She's got to get Colin to play it. No, I don't.
I think I would like it. I think I would like it because
I want that left alone.
I would like.
No, you're not gonna like the cutscenes are too long, and like you're not gonna. I genuinely don't know if you'd like it, and I want to keep it away from you. And there's also just so many. I'm like, you're not gonna play them all.
It's so funny because like I feel no protective except for my own games. I don't feel protective. I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks about anything, to be honest. I mean, it's always interesting. I like to know what people's tastes are. I'm not saying that. I'm saying like it doesn't hurt me when people don't like the things I like. And I was explaining this actually.
It's more like agitation.
I was explaining this to my nephew, our Declan, recently, where we were talking about music, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't like this that much." And I'm like, "You have to understand, like, it really doesn't bother me." And I think a lot of it comes from just having 3 older siblings that would constantly tell me everything I liked was bad all the time, my entire life, still to this day. So, like, you have to, it's like, oh, that music sucks, that TV sucks, that movie sucks. Like, it's like I grew up like just everything I liked was being trivialized, and I think at some point I was like, all right, it doesn't matter, I don't care, you know. So I really have no, like, if people don't like Mega Man or Castlevania, I'm like, oh, it doesn't affect me whatsoever. But but that's just me.
Yeah. Fair.
Well, no, I don't mean the audience like at large, but a personal recommendation, because it's like, yeah, for example, like you do that. I'll be listening to music. You're like, this sucks. And it's like, all right, well, I'm not going to share my beloved game that I played when grandma died. Like I'm keeping that to myself because it's too important to me type deal. So it's like, yeah, like a recommendation to an actual friend. I don't care if the audience doesn't like Unicorn Overlord. It's annoying that their reasons are stupid. But it's like, no, I mean, try it, and if you don't like it, that's fine. But like personal recommendations to a friend, I'm like, if Brad doesn't like this game and he besmirches it, I'll be upset.
Yeah. And I will.
No, you will. You will. I also, like, I'm not going to tell you to go play Olympia Soiree or something.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to well enough.
That's the game you were playing recently.
Which one? Oh, Cafe Enchanté. The mic cut out for a second. Yes, Cafe Enchanté. That game kind of sucks. That game kind of sucks. It's not good.
All right. And with that, we're done.
Cool.
Micah and Colin, thank you guys for joining me on this Sunday evening for you guys now, afternoon for me. Had a lot of fun chatting with both of you. Great to see both of your lovely faces as always. Very nice.
Good to see you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, Colin, I'll see you tomorrow when we're recording this.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
For more Kingdom Hearts talk.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Give us some
Cancel that. We're going to stream Defender of the Crown.
Defender of the Crown stream, dude.
Oh my God, dude. That would be so funny to stream, though. That would be really funny.
It would be a bait.
Like,
it'd be funny to like bait and switch
again?
big time. I'd be like, we're streaming Kingdom Hearts 2. Just kidding. It's Defender of the Crown.
owned.
That would be awesome. I'd love that.
It is pretty great. It is pretty great.
And Mike, I'll see you Tuesday for our usual chaos as always.
Yes.
So that'll be fun.
Yes, indeed.
We'll get the conch out, ready to go.
The magic conch.
Conch, not conch. Conch. We got it there. All right. Yeah. I guess we're out of here. Anything else you guys want to say before we go? Just want to make sure there's nothing left unsaid.
No, I'm gonna go and work out and go about my evening. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm going to read this tweet real quick that I sent you guys during the show. This is from 2018. Now, Brad, in context, is this about Kingdom Hearts 4? Like, what game would they have been referring to?
2018? One of the older ones. I don't think 3 came out till 2019.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I think she's talking about 3.
All right, because this is a tweet from June 2018. It's making the rounds again because of Kingdom Hearts. Necromommy wrote, "The best dick I ever had in my life was from a nerd that gave me that work after he beat Kingdom Hearts. So I'm excited for this new game when that shit drops."
Yeah. That's right.
Now she's extra amped right now.
That's right, baby.
That tweet's like, seeing that making the rounds is so fucking funny. Seeing it from 2018. It's like, I wonder where that lady is now. I wonder if she is waiting for the new one.
Yeah. Well, who knows? We'll see. We can investigate more on Punching Up. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, let's see if we can find her account and see if there's any new tweets.
Yeah, we'll track her down. We'll get it going. All right. And with that, we're out of here, everybody. Thanks for watching, listening. See you next time.
Bye.
Goodbye. Summon Sign is a product of Last Stand Media and Colin's Last Stand LLC and is proudly recorded in the USA. The show is written and hosted by me, Brad Ellis. The show is produced by Dustin Furman. All of Last Stand's theme music is by Ramon Nivarez. Summon Sign, along with the rest of Last Stand's media shows, are fan-funded on Patreon at patreon.com/laststandmedia. The following names are at the producer level on Patreon, our highest tier, and we are grateful for your kind contribution and generosity to our independent endeavor. Thank you.